better. What up, anybody that's watching and or listening to the Death Twitch VIP Hangout with my very important peoples we've got with us tonight. Nobody. All right, we got nobody with us tonight.
You're talking to yourself.
I was trying to let her go first. I was trying to be nice. Sorry. I'm Skinslip. I'm on YouTube also. I'm cool. You should like me.
I'm April, the girl that agrees with almost everything that Eric says.
And buys my merchandise like a awesome person.
Yes, I love my shot glass.
I don't even have a shot glass. I was talking to somebody. I did the last patron hangout. We didn't go live, and only one person showed up, and he was all talking about. You must have like all that stuff. I was wearing my Death shirt. And he's like, yeah, that's cool. You must have a bunch of those. I'm like, nope. He's like, well, you got it for free, right? I'm like, nope. I had to pay for my own fucking shirt.
That's right. Now, as people who create merchandise, like I have a bunch of stuff on Redbubble, right? And as someone who puts the stuff there, I get a discount, but it's not that big. It's like 10% off. It waves. Oh, thanks a lot, guys. So I have a whole bunch of stuff on Redbubble, and one person owns a shirt, and one person owns a poster, and that's it. No one else bought anything else.
That's two peeps that care.
Yeah, and I'm perfectly happy, and very thankful to those two people who bought those things. You know.
So we do expect that there might be more people showing up, but I know that a lot of the other peeps probably have never used Google Hangouts before, and I'm sure they'll be really confused, and they may or may not make it. But peeps might just show up.
Yep.
So we have to discuss the elephant in the room, I suppose.
The room and the elephant. A little weirder that way.
This is what happened for me, and I want to know that this isn't true. I think I'm going to be in denial for about a week. I just got done eating, fucking walked to the store to get my beer, and came back, and then suddenly Wes Craven is dead. Like, I walked to the store and come back, and what the fuck?
He apparently died at 1 p.m. Pacific time of complications from brain cancer.
This is horrible.
It rolled up. The Daily Beast posted that they just got confirmation from his agent or whatever, and so they posted it, and there was no article posted yet, and I was like just Googling like mad, and like this can't be real. This has got to be hoax, and then Hollywood Reporter posted it, and I was like, no.
This is two deaths of people that I really admire and looked up to in one day.
Who was the other one?
Dr. Wayne Dyer is an inspirational speaker or a spiritual teacher, and he passed away as well. And that was the first news I got, and I wasn't quite as sad. I was just like moved and like, you know, it's
that's sad.
Gonna miss him, but like. Yeah. Go to the store to get beer and come back and fucking Wes Craven is dead and gone, taken from us now. No. What was the last movie he did? Scream 4? Is that really how he went out?
4 is the last one he directed, and it was okay. You know.
I liked it all right, but yeah.
Honestly, he hadn't done a good movie, in my opinion, since New Nightmare. But none of his movies were bad. That's the thing. That's the thing to remember.
Let's get on that topic, I guess, because.
Yeah.
Fucking memories, everybody. Let's get. I know this. I didn't plan for this to be all. Fucking memories. Let's hear them.
I was, I don't know, 13, and I turned on Monster Vision on TNT, and People Under the Stairs was on, and I fell in love. I had known about Nightmare on Elm Street, of course, but I mean, I hadn't connected him to any other movies, right? My brain hadn't realized that, you know, there's like a cult of personality behind some directors, you know, and that was like a light bulb going on for me. And then I looked up his other stuff, and so I found like Shocker and, you know, Serpent and the Rainbow.
Nice. Yeah, I like all those movies. Even though Wes Craven, he will jump between doing good material to just cheesy shit, but pretty much like all of it, with maybe the exception of Vampire in Brooklyn.
Now, I recently said in another live show like a couple weeks ago, Wes Craven didn't always hit home runs, but he always swung for the fences.
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
were always like inventive or imaginative or just downright cool. Like he always had that touch. I don't like half his movies, but they're all interesting. They're all cool. Even Vampire in Brooklyn, which I absolutely despise, but it's got its moments, you know.
He was
Every
trying something weird with that. You can't deny that. What about you, April? You got any memories?
I just remember growing up with Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, it's the scariest thing I ever saw as a kid. It freaked me out. It has always been my favorite series out of all the big slasher series. It's always going to be my favorite because it was just so creative.
He gave us some really good stuff that'll live on for a long time.
If there's anyone who's going to live in more immortality, it's Wes Craven. I mean, come on.
Was he working on anything at the time?
IMDb did not say he was.
Well, if it's true that it was brain cancer, and as far as I can tell, he kept that to himself because I never heard him mention it ever.
I think everyone would have known about that.
Probably was kind of maybe stepping back.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, damn, dude. Just like, damn.
Dude, because I wanted more movies from him. I did. I've mentioned it over other streams where it's like, man, we need some more Wes Craven movies.
I would like to admit that he did do Scream After New Nightmare, which was, I think so, a decent film, but I'm not really a huge fan of. And Red Eye, which I really like, even though everyone kind of shits on that one.
It's all right. I like Red Eye. I like it. See, I like that he did stuff like that.
Yeah.
He didn't feel like he had to always keep making the same movie.
I don't know if he saw himself as a genre director. I think maybe he just got stuck there, you know? I don't know. It's kind of hard to put into words how someone's movies can affect you in such a way, you know? Shame.
And you know the other thing about Wes Craven that sets him apart is that if you listen to him in interviews, the way that he would speak, he just sounded like a wise old sage. And he looked always just very calm.
So, on Twitter, Doug Tilley, he's a critic, and he said Wes Craven had the sort of quiet intelligence that legitimized the horror genre to the mainstream.
That was one of the things I really liked about the guy. He seemed down to earth, but like you could tell there was like an ocean of wisdom within him when he would speak.
He's like the Yoda of horror
He
movies.
is the Yoda, dude. Maybe we'll see him again in ghost form, and he'll tell us to use the form.
That'd be so awesome. You have no idea.
That'd be great.
What if he becomes like the next Freddy Krueger now, and he starts haunting people's dreams? That would be awesome.
I swear to God, if I have a dream of him as Freddy and I'm blaming you for that. That's it, bastard.
So movies like Serpent and the Rainbow, pretty good shit back in the day.
Getting a Blu-ray from Scream Factory.
What was that?
Getting a Blu-ray from Scream Factory too.
Oh, nice. You mentioned People Under the Stairs.
Yep.
Silly movie. I adore it though.
Also got a release from Scream Factory, and so did Shocker. I think it comes out next week.
Shocker. I haven't seen that in a while. I remember I started to watch it and fell asleep. It was more like 2 months ago. But that was a favorite of mine as a youngster. I liked Shocker a lot.
I think my opinion of Shocker is that it is incredibly inventive in the sense that of how it's executed. Not necessarily the concept of the killer dying and coming back. That's not inventive. But the way he executed it was inventive, although it was not entirely successful. I still really like that movie. It's not good, but it's not bad either. It's a solid 5 out of 10, you know?
Yeah, like I said, I started to watch it and fell asleep, so I get the feeling that when I sit down and watch it all again, I'll go, well, this is not quite what I remembered, but I bet I'll still have fun with it.
Yeah, you'll have fun with it. You just gotta remember to have fun. It's totally not serious. It's all silly. It's a silly premise. He turns into a lightning elemental and goes and murders people. I mean, come on. That's ridiculous. I mean, I love it, but that's ridiculous. You gotta admit.
Sure it is. Sure.
So what you're saying is he gets electrocuted and becomes living lightning, and then proceeds to stab people still. What?
Hey, it seems legit.
But he makes it by just killing people like normally. Like what? No, I don't know. It's cool. I dig it.
Me too. Like he always had those weird ideas, like a freaking Wishmaster.
Oh God, was that him?
Yeah, dude.
Oh my God.
Wishmaster is Wes Craven.
I saw that like 2 years ago. I did not like it. Thought it was boring.
It's cheesy as fuck, but it's Wes Craven not giving a shit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's something that hadn't really been done before. You know,
like,
all of his ideas are. He doesn't always catch that ball, but he always swings really hard. You know.
Have you seen all the sequels?
No.
There's like I think 4 Wishmaster movies.
I probably stopped around 2 or 3.
I knew there were 2 sequels. There's a 4th one. Holy Christ!
I
third
think
sequel.
so.
Sorry. 3rd sequel, 4th movie. There we go.
Yeah. When that came out was what, late 90s or something? That was when probably the last time I even saw it. But I remember I was super high and I was like, hey, this is kind of cool, man.
Super high. Oh, dude.
But careful what you wish for, dude.
There's something to be said about watching a very strange horror movie while being so high you can't even think straight. You're just like, okay, I gotta focus on breathing in this movie. I can't do anything else but focus on breathing in this movie. I gotta pee. I gotta pause this movie. Hold on.
Never watch Eraserhead high.
Never seen it, actually. There's a whole swath of like horror classics I've just managed to somehow miss.
You should see Eraserhead just because it's essential viewing, even if you don't understand it or you don't like it. It's like it's like a rite of passage.
Yeah, man, I watch. Have you seen my Letterboxd? I'm the most eclectic film watcher I know. I don't know anyone else who watches like an action film, jumps to a horror film, swaps to a drama, then oh wait, we're back in independent genre video horror for no reason because it's the movie I picked up. So trust me, I'm gonna probably find something I like out of it. I'm a very eclectic, very, very awesome wonder when I watch films. Probably gross me out too.
Yeah, this is just all over Facebook. Everybody is messaging me.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's quite a shame.
I wanted more Wes Craven movies. I was
just saying, Shocker 2 needed to happen. Damn it.
I didn't see this coming because I would have, and I don't mean this to sound bad at all, but I would have figured John Carpenter would have bit the dust before Wes Craven.
I thought George was gonna beat them all.
Yeah, well that's true.
George is skinny. He looks like a skeleton.
He's literally a zombie now.
He became his own creation. It's crazy. I love him to death, though. Even his bad movies, I love him. Anyway, like I can't help it.
And he had to freaking die after seeing Scream bastardized on MTV.
Oh God. He probably figured, they're gonna do this after I'm dead anyway.
Oh yeah.
So what's the fucking point? At least I can use this money to help my family. I'm assuming that's what his thought process at that point was. That's what mine would have been. Fuck yeah, give me that check. What about your legacy? Like, yeah, those movies still exist, man. Like, they didn't go anywhere. Yeah, I can see your fucking Facebook blowing up over there.
Yeah. I want to be in the Hangout, but I'm just too tired. It's 3:18 a.m. where he is at.
Pussy.
All right, that's Sean Nash. I got a few peeps in the UK that...
I'm kidding, bro. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you need to move closer.
Everybody needs to come to Washington. Could do this in real life. Fucking just cut out the whole internet. We'll sit around a campfire and talk about horror movies.
I'll bring the weed.
I'll tell you the story about Jason.
You bring the
I don't want
bombs.
to scare everybody, but I'm going to give it to you straight about Jason.
Dude, Michael Myers is my uncle. I don't want to hear it.
Michael Audrey Myers is your uncle?
Michael Myers is my uncle. That's what I said. You know, that movie's based off my uncle.
What are you talking about?
I'm being silly. I'm being silly. It's non sequitur. Don't worry about it.
Remember, I'm not on the same wavelength as you are.
I'm just making random. Don't worry.
Thanks for making me laugh. I fucking needed it. Oh yeah, I guess I can activate the Q&A. I just forgot. Sorry,
You have to
peeps.
do that. Oh, don't you have to do that before you should go live?
Well, I mean, I enabled it. I just keep forgetting to then open it up.
You keep forgetting to look at it. You know, to actually answer the cues.
Interact with people that are watching, because
So
they
you wanna-
probably just.
Yeah.
If it's trolls, then I'll just shut it back down.
Shut her down.
Oh, you gotta love trolls.
I like Troll 2 and Troll 3.
Ah,
And Troll 4.
I've only seen the first two.
Yeah, you're good. You just stop.
I've
right
only
there.
seen the first one.
No, you totally need to see the second one.
The second one I'd say is better, just because it's so funny.
It's one of the best bad movies ever made.
Yeah, they made that documentary called Best Worst Movie.
There's a pantheon of bad movies. It's Troll 2, Samurai Cop, Miami Connection, Manos Hands of Fate.
This guy, he ain't lying. He knows what he's talking about.
I'm a curator of crap, man. I know this.
I love me some Samurai Cop though. That one might be, dude. But Miami Connection's got the awesome songs. It's hard to pick actually. But yeah, April, if you should drink you some Jaeger and then watch Troll 2, and just keep in mind that it's terribly bad.
If you have friends who will come and drink with you, it's even better because
But
you'll all be
better than
hooting and laughing
Troll
together.
Yeah.
Way better.
We
than
do
Troll 1.
have, my friends and I get together about once a week and watch like the most god awful horror movies ever.
Well, that'll be perfect for you then.
Watch Troll 2.
Yeah.
Well, you'll be like, wow, this is way better than the other shit we usually watch. It's still awful, but I mean, you know,
It
it's
is.
hilariously so.
You know what?
Have you
This-
seen
No, go
Evil
ahead.
Bong?
No,
No.
I've never seen that. I've heard of it
It's
though.
bad.
Yeah.
It looks
That one
bad.
looks really bad.
Is it bad in a good way or just bad?
It's just bad.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't watch just bad
But-
movies. I watch so bad or good usually. Usually.
Tommy Chong's in it though, so
Willie Nelson's in 3, I think, right? Or 2?
yeah.
Something like that.
Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Willie Nelson, huge stoner.
I know it. Been smoking as long as I've been alive, probably.
Longer than you've been alive. I can almost guarantee that.
Daniel has joined the chat. Welcome, Daniel. Once you figure out how to work it.
Am I a little too dark? Alright. I'll be right back.
All right.
Okay.
Alright, see me?
Nope.
Alright.
Yes.
Well,
No.
yeah, there's light, so totally.
Nobody can see me though.
Yeah. Are you connected to your internet via Wi-Fi, Eric, or hard
Yeah.
cable, hard line?
What was that?
Are you connected to your internet via hard line or Wi-Fi?
It's Wi-Fi.
You could increase your internet speed by plugging a cable directly into your modem or router. If you have it. I just spoke gibberish to you, didn't
What are you talking about?
I? Okay.
I'm upstairs and the router's downstairs. Is it still possible?
You gotta get a really long cable, yeah.
Oh, that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
Look, I'll just stick with my voice only. I don't want to be on video anyway. What's up, Daniel? I'm not sure if we can hear you. Say something.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Barely.
Hello?
You need to get sit
Barely hear
closer
me?
to your camera.
Yeah, you have to.
All right.
Pull the
How
camera
about
over.
Hello?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's better.
there you go.
Alright, that's good.
Thanks for joining us.
All right.
And thanks to everybody. I want to say to everybody that might happen to be watching, these guys are the peeps that fork over some of their hard-earned money just to help me keep doing what I do. So thanks to these guys for being
Yeah,
cool.
And thank you to
we
my
support the
Patreon.
salary.
Thank you to my Patreons for being able to pay for my Patreon pledge to Eric.
Ah.
Because otherwise
I'm
I
just
don't have
gonna-
any money.
I'm gonna give it right back to you.
I know. It's kind of awesome.
By the
Might
way,
as well not even support each other. Just trading power.
It looks
Same thing.
this hangout will be sponsored by Miller Genuine Draft.
No, don't show that. You're underage. That was a prop, by the way.
That was one of those can safes, guys.
There goes your Facebook again.
I know. Just
Oh,
close
sorry.
your Facebook. Oh my god.
Well, I mean, I will.
Oh,
I
yeah,
just I had it open a little longer in case anybody didn't catch my link on the Patreon, in
Yeah, I figured.
case
Sorry.
they found it on her. Right on her. All right, I'll close it, you bastards. You fucking.
Don't do it on my account. Don't give in to your anxiety, sir. Stop that. Don't be so self-conscious.
There. Hey, if anybody was watching, if you got questions, figure out how to use the Q&A app and ask us questions.
On the bottom of the bottom. Wow, that's a word. Bottom. On the bottom of the video, there should be a thing on the left side. It'll pop up if you don't have annotations on. Turn them on to see it. That says "Join the conversation." And that's how you enter the chat or the questions app.
Do what he says. So Daniel, did you hear the bad news?
What bad news?
A beloved horror director just died recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sad.
It is fucking devastating. It was Wes Craven.
It was 6 hours ago too.
Wait. Wes Craven died?
6
Yeah.
hours ago.
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh, that is really sad. That's
Fucking
terrible.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Wes Craven movie there?
My favorite Wes Craven, I mean, what can it be? It's A Nightmare on Elm Street. Love that movie.
Hell yeah. Good movie. Does anybody else here, let me say that a few more times. Does anybody else want, like, what would have been okay with one Nightmare on Elm Street movie, or did you want all those sequels?
I'm a big fan
You know,
of 3, 4, and 5. So.
That's a good one because, I mean, it could have been good if we kept one, but what about Dream Warriors? That's a good sequel.
Dream Warriors was the best sequel.
Here's
Yeah.
my question.
Probably.
Okay.
I love it.
Here is my question. What do you think Nightmare on Elm Street movie has the best cast? 1 or 3?
Maybe 3.
Yeah. 3.
I think 3's cast was more successful in the long run, weren't they? Technically, I mean, 3's the one with Johnny Depp, right? Or is that 1?
He's at
No,
number
Johnny
1.
Depp was in the first
I
one.
always watched like the first 5 in like one sitting, so I never remember which one's which.
He was.
I do not like part 5. Ugh, I
I hate
can't
number
do
2.
it.
Number 2's the
Yeah,
worst.
number 2 was weird.
Totally homoerotic, but that's not the problem. The problem is just bad.
The problem is that they completely ditched the whole dream aspect on the first sequel to a movie called A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, and it was just badly written. I'm just saying. You know?
Yeah, I'd say it has probably maybe the worst script. It just doesn't fit at all
No.
with
I
it.
like the Freddy character, kind of, in part 2. I like the makeup and his general attitude. He hadn't quite become a clown yet.
Yeah, and I mean they kind of have decent actors. You know, I mean they're not horrible like part 5
No.
because the
Yeah, I
actors in part 5 freaking suck. They're terrible.
I like
I
the
don't-
idea behind 5, but yeah, execution not so hot. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
It's going to happen a lot on here.
I don't think it needed as many sequels as there were. Like, I don't like 5 either. I think it's horrible.
Like for me,
Anything after 3.
I stopped at 5 and then jumped to New Nightmare because I love New Nightmare. It's like my favorite of the entire series, actually.
You know, New Nightmare. The thing about it, it's a great movie, but it's kind of touching in a way.
Yeah.
Because
Like
you know
a-
it's about the art of the movie business and everything, and how the ending ends. It's just I don't know. It hits you.
I like that we get to see people playing themselves, or at least a version of themselves, including
Yeah.
Wes Craven.
But it always makes you think, is that guy actually a sleazeball in real life? You know?
It to me, I could have lived with one. I'm always that guy. Like, I will watch like pretty much all of them, any horror franchise. But I am that guy that usually would be okay if we only had the originals. And in this case, I would be fine with just one Nightmare on Elm Street. But considering the possibilities inherent in the idea of the dream world, it makes sense that they would make a bunch of sequels.
You know, which franchise I wish would have only one movie is the Halloween. I think they should have stopped at one, no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
Whoa,
I agree.
whoa! But then we wouldn't have had number 3, which is arguably the second best of the entire series.
Well, we might have still got number 3. It just would have been called Season of the Witch.
For the longest time, I was in denial and just called it Season of the Witch and never mentioned the Halloween. But I've just kind of gotten old and weak, and I've just accepted it. Like, whatever.
I mean, I do love Halloween 3. It's a great movie, in my opinion.
Love it.
I would even go so far, and Halloween's my favorite movie. I would even go so far as to accept 2, because at least it was a continuation of the same night. But then I would really have liked it to stop there.
Yeah. I mean, part 2 is the closest to the feel of the original, if that makes sense.
See, I liked part 4 and 5, but not a lot. Like, I liked it just barely. I was like, it's alright.
I mean, sure.
When people say they hate those movies, I'm like, okay, I understand. Like, it's like cool. I understand. I'm totally in the minority who likes 4 and 5. I'm cool with that. I'm also in the minority who likes Rob Zombie's 2.
I have to be that guy all the time too, where it's like, hey, I like it. Everybody can kiss my ass.
Both Rob Zombie films, by the way. Both.
Don't
Zombie. Get us started on Rob Zombie, because me and Marcy talked about him for about 4 hours the other night.
That's fine.
It's okay. I love Rob Zombie too, so.
I'm still waiting for the lawsuit to show up.
And while I don't think all his movies are wholly successful as films, I think they're all really interesting in some manner. So I always find a reason to watch them,
You know, the thing about the Rob Zombie films, and especially the Halloween, is the theater experience was really good.
Really?
Yeah, that'll be something like the original, the theater experience for the Friday remake was better than actually the movie itself.
I hate that movie.
I heard rumblings early on that the studio made him change number 2's ending and that he would get it on the home video market. So I actually didn't see it in theater. I've kind of avoided H2 in theater and decided to wait until it hit
I saw it in theater, but there's so many fucking endings to both of Rob Zombie's Halloweens. I can never remember which one I'm supposed to think is the real ending.
Yeah, I don't know. He's an interesting filmmaker.
I don't even remember what the theater ending was now. It's been so long, and I've seen so many different versions.
I've never seen it, actually.
Here's my question. Did Laurie die in the Rob Zombie Halloween 2? Like, what happened? Did she die, or...?
It's ambiguous.
I don't know. Maybe
I'm
she was
pretty sure it's ambiguous on purpose. It's up to you to decide. What do you think happened? That's the point. People get angry at ambiguity in films. That's because you're not given the answers. You're supposed to find the answers, right? People are like trashing like Prometheus. I'm like, no, you incredible. Stop that. No, you're not supposed to be. He's not giving you the answers. You get to come up with the answers. The meaning of the film is within you and your experience with the film. Even if it is a big budget Hollywood film, you can have that experience still. Is Prometheus a great movie? In my opinion, yes, but that's how it goes. But
that is how it goes. No, I'm with you there, because that's something I always bring up. I think in a lot of my reviews about the relationship between a film and the audience should be that the film goes halfway and then the audience has to meet the movie halfway. They shouldn't be given every piece of information. They shouldn't be told exactly how they're supposed to feel every second. Like for instance, this is just a small little detail. A lot of people might not think much of anything about it, but Halloween, when Sheriff Brackett and Loomis go into the Myers house and they're looking at something on the ground, we're never shown what it is. The camera never pans away from them. They just look at it and they talk about it, and then we're left to imagine how disgusting this thing might be that they're looking at.
Yeah, and I feel like that's one of the difference between the original Halloween and the Rob Zombies is Rob Zombies is not. It's not about ambiguity. It's about showing you the horrors up front in your face. It throws it and you see the aftermath of everything he does, and it's all really brutal and realistic, and it's supposed to be like unnerving. Instead of making, it's a different kind of horror film. It's a completely different beast.
We got a question.
Oh, we did.
What do you guys think about the new one coming out, Halloween Returns? I did a
didn't-
video on it, so you should watch that.
I don't know what to expect of it. I
Do you have a
don't know.
trailer yet?
No,
I
they're
don't have an opinion yet.
they're barely, probably not even filming yet.
I mean,
Okay.
I don't even care. Like, cool, to make another Halloween, awesome. If it's good,
I'm not
you know?
excited. I'm not excited.
I wasn't excited about Curse of Chucky, but then I saw it, and I
was.
really enjoyed it. It took me a
I liked
while.
Yeah,
But-
that was a weird situation though. But I'd say the Child's Play movies haven't been raped quite as hard as a lot of the other
Yeah.
franchises.
They weren't as successful as the other franchises either, so that's,
And it came later in the game than all the others.
Yeah, it wasn't during the boom. Either booms. Any of the booms. It's always been like in the non-slasher booms,
So it's Halloween Returns. It's supposed to be taking place after the original Halloween 2, right?
That's what we are told so far.
But you know what that is? That means you now have so many outlets after Halloween 2. You can either choose the Halloween 4 route, the H2O route, the
I
season.
know. It's so jacked up.
It's awesome.
I don't think we need another Halloween.
See, as a kid, right, I didn't see 4 and 5 until I was in my 20s. So when I was a kid, I always assumed 3 was assuming that Michael Myers' mask, and that's what caused him to go crazy. That was like an early experiment from the people at that company. That's my thought, right? That's what I was ignoring everything else, just knowing 1, 2, and 3. That's what I assumed up until I saw 4 and 5. I was like, oh.
We actually that idea was debunked on a past thing.
Well, I just always thought that. I didn't I knew it wasn't real. Like once I saw 4, I'm like, oh, I just put those points together in my brain, fan fiction style.
I don't need another Halloween, but if they released another one and it was good, I'll admit that I was wrong. Because I'll take another good one. I just don't see a good one coming unless they stop playing it so safe and start taking some risks. But not the kind of risk where it's like Michael in space. That's not what I'm talking about. I mean, just stop making the origin story over and over again.
I've been rethinking I should revisit that film, actually.
Halloween X.
No,
Yeah.
God.
Dude, Critters 4, Leprechaun 4, they all did it. I think there's a Hellraiser in space, too. I never
Yeah.
saw that one.
The fourth
Wait.
one's in.
Oh, wait, I did see that one. But, God, I couldn't tell you what happened in it. And
It's a
that's
mess.
sign of its quality.
It's a mess. Halloween 4.
And like, number 3 is a mess, too. Like, all I can think of is, I remember the CD guy I had, and I hated that guy. Like, that's it. I can't tell you the plot of 3,
Yeah. I've always found part 3 to be goofy for some reason.
Yes, absolutely.
What are we talking about? I was reading
sorry.
comments. I missed
We went
it.
to Hellraiser
Oh, Hellraiser.
because I'm high as fuck, so I
I like 1 and 2.
just
Yeah.
babbling machine. I'm sorry. Just interrupt me if you want to talk. I apologize.
One of the best things about Hellraiser, the first one at least, is the effects.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Uncle Frank, man. that
1,
guy.
2, and 3 are great for the effects. Anything after 3, I don't want to be bothered. I just don't care. I checked out at 6. I was like, I cannot watch the next 3 of these movies. I will literally slip my. We were doing them once a week, right? So every week we'd watch Hellraiser, and it was 1, 2, 3, and like, oh god, 4, oh no, 5, oh fuck, 6. I was like, no, I tap. I'm done.
Everybody wants me to review the Hellraiser franchise, and I really don't want to.
No, just
Not
do
only
3.
because of
That's
I
your
couldn't
franchise.
handle most of the movies, but do you know how long that would take me? It'd take a whole year to do that.
You should
That
just do the
last
first
Hellraiser-
3 and call it a day.
That last Hellraiser movie didn't even have Doug Bradley in it.
No, it had some fat guy, right?
Yeah.
No offense to him. He was just getting a paycheck. It's not his fault, right?
The only reason why it was made is because Dimension, they were going to lose the rights, so they rushed it for
Oh, yeah,
It was shot in a
They do
week
that.
or something. It was stupid.
That's sad.
The guy did a horrible fucking job. He was
There
terrible.
It
was
was because he has no time. He had like you have to get this done in a week or 2 weeks, whatever.
There
it
was a teaser trailer for a new Hellraiser months ago, like a long time ago, and then I've never heard anything about it since.
Gee, I don't know if that's a blessing or a curse.
I think it was supposed to be a prequel.
Why? Why? God, just stop.
Yeah.
Just remake it, because that could be interesting, but don't do a fucking prequel, because then it won't look right. It's like the Star Wars prequels. Everything looks all fucking shiny, like, it doesn't match.
Hey, how about this? Speaking of, I'm going to get us back on the sad topic again one more time, but how about, I'm sorry, but how about we honor the man who just died by them not making a Nightmare on Elm Street remake?
I was just about to say that. I really wasn't.
I don't know. What's his face? Who'd they cast as Freddy? God, I just forgot it.
Well, I mean, I did my video, and I said if they gotta make another one, they should just bring in a new character and let the Freddy Krueger character rest for a while. If it has to be done, that's the way I feel about it.
They got some new actor that was a really interesting choice, and I can't remember off the top of my head. And I'm just like, okay, now you have me interested enough that I could let you toy around with this idea. Let's hear plot synopsis next, huh? You know, like, next step, tease me with some story. You know?
Like I said, yeah.
They need to not make that movie.
That's the way I want to go, but you know what's going to happen. That's why my idea was, like, at least just don't replace the character Freddy with another actor. Just give us a whole new Dream Demon. It's another character altogether.
A new Nightmare on Elm Street. And
its own personality, give them its own backstory and shit.
Call it a new Nightmare on Elm Street. Done.
There you go. We start writing this right now.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen.
Shocker 2, right? New Nightmare on Elm Street, Shocker 2.
Shocker
now
2.
We have
Yeah.
Shocker versus Freddy.
Shocker was supposed to be a franchise, from what I hear, and it just never took off.
That would have been so cool to see a sequel.
Which is kind of sad because, you know, Wes made A Nightmare on Elm Street to be standalone, and then it was kind of forced into a franchise, and then he tried to make a franchise, and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Hey, at least he had the Wishmaster franchise going, and Scream. He did every Scream movie. That's kind of cool. We didn't have another director.
No, he didn't direct 3, did he?
Yeah, he directed all of them.
I thought someone else. Jesus.
I could be wrong.
Scream 3 just does not feel like a Wes Craven film, that's all.
Pretty sure he's directed each one.
Yeah, he did, but I'm saying it doesn't feel like a... You know what the problem is? I bet it's because Aaron Kruger wrote that one. That's probably why it doesn't feel like a same kind of film, you know?
Yeah, it wasn't Kevin Williamson.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem, because 4 felt more like a Scream film.
I do enjoy 4, but to me, watching the whole series, I like the first one a lot, and then each one kind of is interesting because the idea just becomes a joke. In the first one, it's actually interesting, and then after that, it just becomes kind of silly.
Well, 4 is really meta with itself. And
I like 4 though. I do. I was there at the theater to see that shit.
I thought it was decent, and I think it's better than 3 actually.
I would consider 4 my second favorite actually, after the first one.
Yeah, 2's really good though. Like as a sequel. Oh.
I liked 2 a long time ago, but now when I watch it, I'm not as into it because the whole idea just seems silly now. It's like, oh, let's make fun of the fact that this is a sequel.
I don't like any of them all that much, but I can acknowledge a good movie when I see one. You know, I own the first 3, but I'm probably not gonna watch them for a long time.
You know, in the horror community, Ghostface gets a lot of shit. A lot of people just see Ghostface as a joke, but I think it's at least from the original movie. I think it's cool that it was horror fans that picked up the knife and like took matters in their own hands. Not that I'm condoning that at all, but I liked the idea that it was a movie about people that talked about horror and knew what they were talking about. basically, it was us. It was us.
That was kind of inspired by Wes Craven's New Nightmare, right? With the whole meta thing.
Yeah, New
Yeah.
Nightmare, I think, was maybe one of the first movies to take the whole meta thing full throttle the way it did. Because, I mean, there was other movies before it in the 80s that would reference certain things here and there, but, yeah. New
And it's nice
Nightmare
that
and Scream really took it to the extreme.
it's also nice that you see Nancy come back in New Nightmare. Well, kind of.
She's so hot. So you're going to get me started on that. I'll be right back. I got to go do something. Just kidding.
Oh, jeez.
Let me get the lotion. I'll be right back.
He puts the lotion on his skin.
Yeah, that's what I say. That's what I say to myself.
Yes, I put the lotion on my basket.
Getting creepy.
On my basket.
I made it creepy. But hey, somebody mentioned Heather Langenkamp, so did anybody see the Butterfly Room?
Wait, is that with Adrian King? Is Adrian King in that?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Heather Langenkamp is in it.
Oh, okay.
Came out a few years ago. I've been interested and haven't seen it yet. I was wondering if anybody else had. I'll take that as a no. Because you don't really see her in movies so much. So when I seen the trailer for it, I was pretty intrigued. Not intrigued enough to watch it though.
Are you gonna do the producer's cut for Halloween 6? The Drunken Terror. Are you gonna do the producer's cut, Drunken Terry, or no?
I doubt it.
Yeah.
You should put a goal. You hit 500 and you'll do it.
So then I'll do it in about 10 years.
Well, I just get more
I'm
popular,
debating doing a review of the producer's cut because I know everybody fucking wants that, but I'm sure I won't have a lot of positive things to say. I'm not sure.
Hey man, if you need company for that, just let me know. I haven't seen it yet, so.
Even that movie is immense. Even that movie has big.
I would imagine, yeah. But it's got a huge fucking fan base. People love them some Halloween 6.
Like, I don't understand. Like, Michael's supposed to kill his whole family, so why would you have like another?
Yeah, here you have to kill your whole family, but have sex with your niece to have another baby to try and kill. See, I'm not sold.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. Just that whole fucking movie. I think it's popular because it was so wanted for so long. You know? It's like one of those things, it was just that, do you have the producer's cut? Have you seen it? No, man. You know, like, it was traded on the underground for like decades.
I know. I watched it once on YouTube a few years back, and I did think it was okay, like an improvement over the theatrical cut, but I don't remember still being like a big fan of it. It's just too convoluted at that point.
It's pretty sad it was Don Pleasant's last movie.
Well, yeah.
Just seems like somebody introduced a vague idea of the thorn symbol in Part 5, and then they're like, well, shit, now we got to do something with this.
See, I didn't know this, but apparently Christopher Lee was going to be the role that Donald Pleasance got, Dr. Loomis.
Oh, yeah, I heard that too.
He turned it down, and he said it was the biggest mistake he ever made in his life.
I
regrets it to this day.
I'm gonna take Donald over Christopher Lee. No disrespect.
Well, they're both dead. They can't get mad at you.
We lost April.
Oh no.
Let me go through. We got questions and stuff. Somebody says, Eric, do you use Loot Crate? Do you watch CW Flash? I don't know what either of those things are. CW Flash. Oh, that's like the TV series? Nope, I don't watch TV. Loot Crate, don't know what that is.
That's one of those monthly box things.
I can't afford that shit, dude. I think people don't really understand just how poor I am. Like I can barely afford my beer habit.
I don't think you understand. When people like me and him make movies, we get dollars a month. in single digits usually.
For
A
real,
month.
dude. I made $30 doing this last month.
Oh, okay, well, I didn't want to,
I threw it out
double
there.
digits.
And
Oh no,
my Patreon says that I make more, but that's not accurate.
that's being fixed soon. They did send an email out saying that you're launching a new one next month.
Yeah, I saw
So
that
it's gonna be
email.
fixed. So
My-
that's why I do monthly, right? It says I make like way more than I do. I'm like, no. Because I'm making
Yeah.
like $36, I made like 12, 14 or something like that.
I heard about them remaking Nightmare again. I think it would be cool if they did it right and brought the feel of the first one. The last one sucked so bad. Bring back Robert. That was J Lee TV. I agree that the last one sucked. That's my humble opinion.
But you know what I'm excited for?
Friday the 13th.
Well, Ash vs. Evil Dead. I was gonna say.
God.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, Evil Dead 2 is the first horror movie I ever saw.
Oh, what a great introduction to horror. Oh my god.
Yeah. Like
Everything after that must have sucked. You're like, wow, what the fuck? Is this just really good or something?
Like Evil Dead 2 is so early in my childhood, I don't remember the first time seeing it.
Wow, dude. That's Halloween for me.
And you know, here's what's interesting is it's funny to see Ash's character from Army of Darkness from the original Evil Dead. You'll notice a big difference.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Because he was all nice in the first one, like all friendly, and he was just like the victim. But in the
To his friends.
Darkness,
Yeah.
he was
Well, his
That's
girlfriend turned into a Deadeye. It pissed him off.
Well, the other thing is he's good to his friends, you notice. He's never nice to those other people. He's just trying to solve the situation without yelling. He's just like but and then none of that shit happens. He gets attacked by a giant tree demon. He goes sucked through a portal, almost gets a car line on him, becomes a fucking slave. He's not in good mood. You know what I mean? Just saying.
I like that he
not
becomes
having
kind of a dick, though. He becomes a little bit arrogant, but yet he's still incompetent.
Oh God, he works at Walmart essentially.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I think one of the good parts about Army of Darkness is Bruce Campbell. He's just being himself, you know.
Yeah.
That's the great about it. He didn't like try to be a character. He's just being himself.
He looks great in the Ash vs. Evil Dead trailer. Like immediately, right off the bat, I'm like, dude, that is the Ash character, on point. From the trailer. We have to wait and see the episodes, and however many seasons we might get. Hopefully more than one. I hope this shit really goes and does good, but stops when it needs to.
The shit out of it as long as it's good. You know.
Because I just mentioned that I don't watch television, like almost not at all, but I will watch me some Ash vs. Evil Dead.
I will find a way.
Without a doubt, I would say Army of Darkness has to be one of the funnest movies.
Yeah,
Right?
It's pretty hilarious, and it came out in '93 or something, and you can see the effects, and some of them are really cheesy, but it was still old school practical effects going on, and you gotta love that.
And what's interesting is, in the original Evil Dead, like that's a real horror film. I think. I don't think it was supposed to be comedic.
Oh, I don't know. I think the thing is, Sam Raimi is a kind of a goofball kind of guy. I think.
Oh sure,
I
yeah.
think that bled through, regardless if he's trying to make it serious. That bled through regardless. You know, like it just happened. It's a natural feel to most of his movies.
But then again, like I heard he was forced to retell the story in the second one, and he had the writer that was with him was a big fan of the Three Stooges, so maybe that adds to the goofiness in part two.
Mm-hmm.
And I love part two. It's just an amazing movie. I love it so much.
I do too, and back in the day, they made the Evil Dead in '79, and then it didn't get like an actual release till what, '81?
No. 79 was when they got that 30-minute short. And then to get the money, and then the next the next year they filmed it, and it released in '81 or '82.
But they wanted to move on and do other stuff after that, and they kept trying and just not really connecting, and that's when they kind of as a last ditch effort, from what I hear, that's when they were like, well, shit, I guess we have to do Evil Dead 2 now, and then they turned it on its head and they made it fucking just wacky, and it's
the Three Stooges homage.
And like I said in my franchise review, if anybody hasn't seen my franchise review of the Evil Dead movies, that I mentioned that I'm usually not down with a franchise getting sillier and sillier, but somehow Evil Dead just did it right.
Did it perfect. It did perfect.
It's pitch perfect. It just worked. You know.
And here's the deal, like, being young, I had my cap gun, and I just love the scene when Ash, like, he cuts off, like, the barrel of the shotgun. I just always loved that scene so much. Such a big scene.
So Sam Raimi also did Darkman, correct? He did Darkman.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, he did Darkman. That's where Ed Murawski, I believe, started working with him. Can't know how to say that gentleman's name. He's the guy who owns Grindhouse Releasing. He that was a very tumultuous film for Mr. Raimi. They kept calling for cuts, and they were interfering with the whole movie, the entire process.
They probably didn't understand what he was going for.
He was so frustrated. Like, it was not a fun experience for anybody involved. None of the actors, nobody. Everyone was miserable.
I can't believe you didn't play Fistful of Boomstick. It's a real fun game.
No, I haven't played that. But you know what? I had a game that he did the voice for, like, back on PlayStation, original PlayStation days. The game was shit. It was shit. But at least I got to listen to Bruce Campbell.
Yeah. He'd be great on commercials, don't you think? He'd be awesome for commercial.
Do you know he's in every Sam Raimi movie? He has a cameo in every Sam Raimi movie.
And the car. The car also has a
car. The car is in every Sam Raimi movie too, except for Quick and the Dead, obviously.
Somebody told me that it is in there somewhere.
Oh my god! You know what? I bet you, now thinking about it, it could totally just be a pile of, like, looks like it's a bunch of boxes covered in tarp. I bet you'll see one that looks vaguely like a car.
Yeah,
You're like,
could be. I've heard that it is somewhere in there.
Now I gotta buy that and obsessively frame by frame it.
So I watched Maniac Cop the other night, which features Bruce Campbell and Tom Atkins, and Sam Raimi's got a little part as a reporter.
Mm-hmm.
Movie was terrible. I was a childhood favorite. I watched it again. I was like, wow, this is not as good as I remember. I want to watch the second one, though, see if I enjoy it any more. Who was that? I just saw somebody and then they left.
I think that's Everett Hembrook, who came in and left. And Daniel, you're here still, in April came and left again. I think she's having connection issues.
I got a good question. What is your guys' favorite Evil Dead movie?
2.
2?
I go with 2.
How about yours?
What was the question? Sorry, I was reading something.
What's your favorite Evil Dead movie?
2. Hands down, it's the best in the series. It's the best production values because the money was used in a small, confined space. And
I've always loved the vortex. At the end with the vortex, I've loved that scene.
Yeah.
And that actually got me fascinated into tornadoes.
Yeah, that's weird, but all right. That's awesome.
No, I like and respect the first Evil Dead, but every time I've mentioned this numerous times because it's true. Like, when I get through it and I'm like at the end, I feel like I just been screamed at by a demon for 2 hours. So I respect it and I like it, but I do prefer Evil Dead 2.
But as a horror film, that's kind of good though, right? For it to do that.
For it to just a demon just to scream at me for 2 hours.
If you want to be like freaked out.
It's pretty intense, dude. It was one of the first video nasties, from what I understand.
It was original back in the day. It was original. That was a good part.
Oh, yeah.
There is no next scenes.
The thing about Evil Dead 2, though, that I want to mention, it should be noted, is it's Bruce Campbell is almost, for a long time throughout the movie, until the other characters show up, he's like the only character for a while, except for his girlfriend, and then she comes back as a headless corpse. Until those other peeps show up, it's all him battling his hand and stuff like that.
Well, what's neat about Evil Dead 2 is there's character development in Ash. There is. Would you say?
I was just listening.
Yeah, I was just listening. Okay then.
Oh, I mean, like in part 2, even in part 2 in the beginning, he was, still kind of like a nice fellow, and then you get to part 3, and he's purely badass.
He's done taking people's shit.
Yeah, he's got
Yes.
some of the. Okay, you know what? Army of Darkness might have some of the best one-liners though.
Yeah, that's true.
Some good ass
The
one-liners.
remake was
Raimi was on his writing game at that point.
What?
Raimi was at his on his
I
writing.
enjoyed the remake.
That's when his best writing period was. The 90s and early 2000s.
I like what is that scene? Oh yeah, it's when this in Army of Darkness when he's got to go and get the book and the guy is telling him you got to say these words and he tells him and then he repeats it and he's like say it again and then all right say it again. He's I got it. He gets all angry. I love that shit.
Or when he's explaining,
He didn't
or when he's
have it though. All right, sorry. Go ahead.
It's like it's almost like Loomis in part 5, where he's just had it with this shit.
Yeah,
He's just had
Lucas
it.
in part 5 is all angry and just pissy at that point.
It's scary. I'd be scared if he was yelling at me like that. Shit.
I know he's always up in everybody's face in part 5, but he has every right to be angry though, because
He does.
he's always
Now-
right and nobody listens ever.
If I were to do a remake, I would cast that role as Samuel L. Jackson. Just saying.
Oh, that
I'm gonna
could be
say
a
he's the
crazy
same kind of
movie.
actor though. He's that kind of actor. You watch John Pleasance. You watch him in any fucking movie, and guess what? You will remember him because he chews the goddamn scenery up. You notice him because he's always on cue, and he's on fire whenever he's on screen. He's got such charisma, and that's what works for Samuel L. Jackson. Either that or make it The Rock, just for hilarity. Make him this giant hulking dude.
Well,
Running around
when you
and
said
stop
Samuel
Michael
Jackson, that brought to mind Quentin Tarantino, who did write a script for Halloween 6, I believe. So maybe if we're gonna get another one, it should be Quentin Tarantino's Halloween with Samuel Jackson.
Oh my god! Holy crap! I would kill for a Quentin Tarantino directed Halloween remake with Samuel L. Jackson as Dr. Loomis. Like holy shit, dude! That is like a dream, retardedly ridiculous.
If it's a
project.
remake, then who should play Laurie Strode? Do you think?
Oh Jesus Christ! Don't do this to me. Kristen Stewart, just
Shut
to
up.
prove that she can act.
No,
No,
shut up.
he does that. He does that. Look at this. Look, he did it with John Travolta. Yeah, John Travolta's only good when he's doing things with Quentin Tarantino.
I'm gonna veto the Kristen Stewart.
Fuck you, Kristen Stewart is what I would do. Plus, it'd piss off fanboys. Oh, the fervor, it's free advertising, man.
Yeah, it would piss off.
Oh, I love it. And she would do just fine. All she has to do is run around and scream. Like,
Speaking
fuck.
of Quentin Tarantino, Quentin Tarantino believes he could do Scream better than Wes Craven.
Oh yeah, I
believe
didn't
it.
read that article, but I heard about it.
Well, I think Wes Craven is a very sharp intellect. I think Quentin Tarantino understands film on a completely other level than almost anybody. You watch his movies and you're like, this shouldn't work, but it does. He just understands the medium like no other. Like almost like Martin Scorsese has that understanding. He does a big budget kids film, a Hugo, and it's fucking great because he just knows the medium. He knows film. He lives and breathes film. And Quentin Tarantino's the same way. I think that would show in whatever he does. Everything. He's insane with his knowledge of film. It's crazy.
He's insane how talented he is.
I don't think he needs to try and do a better Scream. Maybe he could have done some of the sequels or something, but I'm fine with the first one the way it is. And sure, I can imagine what a Quentin Scream must be like.
But he wants to do a horror movie, so what if he just does a meta horror movie and just does this Scream concept better than Scream? Not necessarily doing a Scream remake, just his own movie.
He could. If anybody could fucking pull it off. I still want to see Samuel Jackson just getting pissed off. Of course, that would just be
Die
silly.
Hard
That
with
would
a
be
vengeance.
Anyway,
What was that about Die Hard with Vengeance?
it's a good movie.
Oh, I said Samuel L. Jackson. He was pretty cool in Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Oh, yeah.
Saw that?
It was great. And what is it? A Time to Die? No, it's A Time to Kill. What's the movie where he murders the two dudes who beat and raped his daughter, and then on the stand he's like, yeah, of course I would do it again. They deserve to die.
I
Is
hope
that
they
the one with
don't-
Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah.
I know what the movie you're talking about,
He
but I don't
majestically
remember
gets off of
name.
murdering two people somehow. What?
What's something Express?
Pretty
I'm
good
gonna
at
look it up right now. There's a movie he did a few years back. It should be seen. I'm gonna look it up.
I really like Samuel L. Jackson. I think he's a great actor when given a good script, and he's an amazing character actor. He, like I said, chews at the screen. Whenever he's there, you notice and you remember him. The only reason people watch Deep Blue Sea is because of him. Trust me.
Check out the movie Sunset Limited. If anybody has not seen it.
Seen that.
Samuel Jackson and Tommy Lee Jones. Pretty much that's your whole cast, and it's just those two for an hour and a half debating whether this guy should commit suicide or not. It's so fucking good. If you're into
I have not seen
dialogue and character, and you
Tommy Lee
don't care,
Jones directed this.
if you don't care that it doesn't have special effects or CGI,
It's written by Cormac McCarthy. Holy Christ.
just watch two actors fucking give it their all. It's so good.
Yeah, well, it's a screenplay written by Cormac McCarthy, and it's directed by Tommy Lee Jones. I don't know if that's a good thing or not a bad thing. It's neither here nor there, but they're both pretty cool actors. Really awesome what they do. So that sounds like be awesome.
Tommy Lee Jones, he has a pretty solid performance in all of his movies, really.
Yeah. Sometimes he's just playing the same fucking character,
Tommy Lee
but
Jones?
Yeah.
Except for Two-Face.
oh no, kids, you wonder why? It's Tommy Lee Jones playing the same Tommy Lee Jones character, but amped up. I actually like the villains. The rest of the movie can go to fucking hell. I like the crazy cartooniness of it, even if it's not necessarily true to the original point. I just like its interpretation.
We're talking about Batman Forever, right? Is that what we're
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
speaking of Batman
Yeah,
Forever.
whichever one that was, I don't even remember.
Okay,
I will not ever apologize for Batman and Robin.
Okay.
Fuck that movie.
You know Michael Keaton, he was in Batman and Batman Returns.
Yeah,
They
he was
they
the
asked-
bomb.
Yeah, they asked him, why weren't you in Batman Forever? He's like, it sucked.
Yeah, no, I like those two performances. I didn't say the movie was good.
And he was offered $15 million, and that's kind of cool for him just to let it go, you know? He didn't care-
I was a big salary back then too.
Oh hell yeah, too.
I'm no joke money. That was a last ditch effort. Please, for fuck's sakes, please do our movie.
Yeah.
I think he was. How did his career do after that? Didn't he as a few years later he was in Multiplicity, and then that was just.
I like Multiplicity a lot, but he played a villain in one movie, and I don't remember the name
His
of
career
it.
kind of goes downhill from there. And I think he's come back since, but I mean,
Yeah, he was in Birdman recently, and
oh yeah,
RoboCop.
I really liked Birdman. RoboCop was alright.
He's gonna do Beetlejuice 2. Anybody care about Beetlejuice 2?
I've never even known it existed.
Beetlejuice 2?
It's being developed.
I don't know. I liked the first one a bit. I have it on DVD, and I have no urge to upgrade it because I don't know when the next time I'm gonna watch it.
Fucking Beetlejuice, dude.
It was on TV a lot, dude. It was on USA a lot.
And I even watched the cartoon and shit.
Oh, I like the cartoon.
I still watch the cartoon.
It's available as a complete series. That's actually worth getting too.
You know, Tim Burton's got some good shit. You know, he made a good Batman movie, Beetlejuice.
He made two good Batman movies.
I want to
Don't
say
Sully Returns name.
I think that the real Tim Burton was kidnapped and replaced with a clone around the time that Mars Attacks came out.
I love Mars Attacks. Oh my
That movie
god.
was such a disaster on
It's
it.
beautiful though, because it's a beautiful representation of those cards. It's a ridiculous concept, and it's played to the hilt. It's beautiful comedy.
So
Everyone's
over
like,
the top.
like you're missing the point. It's comedy.
I missed the point. I just think it's too much. They just scaled it back a little, maybe.
It's just Tim Burton just getting to do where the hell he wants, and it's awesome.
That was when they replaced him with the clone.
Yeah, because he was getting too original, and they're like, "Oh shit! Oh, this guy's too crazy. We got to replace him with something slightly more conventional." Hold on.
I think that George Lucas was replaced too.
Yeah, that fat guy ate George Lucas, right? And wearing his fat suit, his skin is fat suit, like a George suit, like from Men in Black with the Edgar suit, but that's why it's all stretched and distorted looking. I love George Lucas, but that man should have just let go in the 90s and just...
What if he's not? What if every time we ever see him on video, he's not really there? He just had himself digitally into the interview or something.
All those pictures on the ranch, that's just a hologram moving around. Thinks he's active. Yeah. Actually, he just travels from building to building. The underground tunnels, never seen day of light. Light of day, excuse me.
I wonder why did... I hope... I wish the other peeps would come back.
But yeah, that's sad. Wes Craven died. That's weird. It's weird.
I mean, it's inevitable, but first of all, you don't want to think about stuff like that, and
yeah.
Not only that, but it's not like I have seen him lately and thought, man, he looks bad, because he hasn't.
Yeah, he hasn't. No.
He aged well.
I've never looked at him and thought, what? He looks like he's getting sick or something. No, he's always looked fine. So that's really the weird part.
It was like one day he switched from being young him to old him, and I've just always known him as old him. Like, I don't know. Like, you look at photos on set of like Last House, I'm like, that's Wes Craven. That's not the same guy, is it?
Yeah, he started late though. He didn't even start making movies till he was like almost 30, or he was 30 or something.
Something like that. Yeah, but then like he had a good few years, and then he got old, and he's always looked that way. But he didn't age anymore. He got a little bit older, and that was it. His hair got grayer. That's
like Steve Martin. Steve Martin's always looked like he does.
Patrick Stewart hasn't aged since the 90s, man.
I've said stuff like that. I'm like, dude, that person has been old forever.
I know. Christopher Lee was old since the 70s. I mean, come on.
Now, with Betsy Palmer's death, I mean, she looked pretty old anyways, 88 or something like that.
I don't think Stan Lee's been alive for at least a decade. I think that guy's actually been dead for a decade.
Who?
Stan Lee. That's an animatronic stunt double that we just keep seeing at events and shit.
They just put a cardboard cutout up, and everybody just goes and takes pictures with it.
Whenever anyone asks him a question, he gives the same fucking responses. He's just got a canned set of shit he's remembered at this point. Because I'm sure that guy gets asked the same 10 questions every goddamn day.
I can imagine, yeah.
So I don't blame him, but I'm pretty sure it's just animatronic Stan Lee, just wandering around. I liked his cameo in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 1, though. That was really good.
Never saw it.
Oh my god, you gotta see that show, man. Holy crap.
I bet you I will never see it. I bet you $1 million I'll never see it.
That's sad. It took a few episodes, and then it got hooked in and it got deep, and it was like holding back tears in the last episode. Like, no! Like, it was bad, dude. I was like about to ugly cry.
Daniel got abducted. It's only a matter of time before they come for us.
I was about to kill one of my favorite characters, and I was like, that's bullshit. No.
That's funny.
I love when a show does that, though. When I started at the beginning and I was like, it's alright. And by the end of the first season, I'm like the biggest fanboy for it, and it's like I'm like touched by a character's like moving like speech or something. Like, god damn it, this show. Why?
So I mean, aside from
the
traditional older stuff like that I watch, the only current thing is Louis.
Oh, I love Louis. I got Louis on Blu-ray buried down there.
Fucking amazing what he does, dude.
I want 3 and 4 on Blu-ray, but they haven't been released.
Louis, I don't know. He's got some special talent there, that guy.
Okay, for the kids out there, you probably don't like Louis, but when you hit about 30, 31, 32, and you've got enough miles in the tires, right? Louis makes sense. It makes sense finally. I would not have liked Louis 10 years ago. I would have thought it was boring and dumb. It's like, whatever. But I get Louis now. Louis speaks to me because it's supposed to speak to me, you know?
It's it's just he always will just go in a direction I never expected. Like every
Oh my God.
fucking episode.
The
Every
second
I'm
episode of the
surprised.
show, they're joking around. He calls him a faggot, and then he goes and says, "Do you know what a faggot is?" and gives the whole speech to it. And it goes from this comedic moment to this crushing dark, and then suddenly someone says a joke, and it just brings you back, and you're like, "What just happened?"
It's insanely good.
So good. It's such a great show.
Yeah.
But it's a show filled with melancholy and sadness.
Oh, hell yeah. Surrounded by humor, yeah.
But it's a show you don't get to see on. It's a unique show. It's gone for 4 seasons. It's unprecedented. A show focused on this kind of subject matter, done by about an older gentleman, like a gentleman in his almost 50s now, right? He's 51, I think. Shit, I mean
no, he's not quite 50. He's almost 50, I think.
Yeah, he's getting there, right? So that doesn't happen nowadays. Everything's gonna be young, teen, and hip and cool, and this show is succeeding.
Oh, everything about the show is unbelievable. The fact that they let him write, direct, edit, star, and then release his version, and nothing has to be changed.
I explain it. It's a situation drama. It's a situation comedy turned onto but instead of there being a laugh track and silly situations, it's everyday shit. That some of that shit, like the episode where he shits his pants. Everyone's had that fucking moment. By 31, you've shit your pants at least once, and you know that shame. Don't look at me! Don't look at me! You know the shame of shitting your pants. By 31, you've done it at least once because you've either got too drunk man, you got food poisoning. That shit happens.
There's a lot of good episodes to talk about. Like the ones with Parker Posey are amazing because
God,
the performances, the material, the subject matter. The one that is hella amusing to me is the Miami one where he goes to Miami and he meets that guy and develops a guy crush.
Oh yeah! Oh my God! What? Oh.
And then it almost ended happily. Oh, I don't want to give it away. I should let people watch it. But it's fun the way it turns out. He knows how to fucking bring stuff back to reality.
It's crazy because there's this moment in the end of, I think, season 3 where this thing is, he's chasing down this dream of his. He's like, oh, I'm going to fucking do it. I'm going to act on my feelings. And then the fucking unthinkable happens. And it happened. This has got to be a dream. I'm watching the show going, this is not real. And then it's just, it happened. It fucking happened. I'm like, oh my God. It just crushes you. It's such a beautiful moment, though, because it's like a moment for Louis to reflect. And he
is that the Letterman one? You're talking about Letterman?
No, I'm talking about the one with the lady on the bus and then he goes to China.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he goes to China.
That's such a beautiful moment because it's not about it's this real thing that happened and it happened like that and he didn't expect it and he coped with it and he grew as a person and he became a different person in the next season. It was great. Oh my God, it's so well written and he writes, edits, directs. He does.
Stars, acts, yeah, dude.
He does
Louis is my fucking hero, and he continues to do his stand-up comedy, which is always some of the best.
And some of those jokes you get to see at the beginning of his show. He works some of that stuff early. Yeah.
We're just kissing ass over here.
Oh man, Louis is an inspiration because he's just. It's like rarely in this day and age you get an auteur who's a true auteur who does all the steps, and Louis is a piece of auteur art. It will all. I swear to God, that show belongs in the Criterion Collection. It is an important piece of art.
It's really good. Yeah.
It is an important piece of art.
I think it might go over some people's heads, and so, like you said, a certain audience may not get what it's about, but.
Also, a lot of people don't like art anything that challenges them, and Louis. Every episode challenges you.
It really does. That's probably one of the things I really love about it too.
Yeah, I have grown as a person from watching Louis.
For real, dude. That's
the thing about I was seriously, I have grown as a human being because of Louis' show
I have watched an episode and then I have to like contemplate my life afterwards. I'm
Yeah,
like, God.
you're like, shit, I've been an asshole this whole time. Oh my God, I'm such an asshole. You apologize to the last person you did that whatever to, and you're like, I'm so sorry, I was such an asshole. Jesus, like, no, I'm serious. And you don't have to be drunk to have this revelation. It's just a show. It's just a really, really, really great show.
And I want to give props to the actresses that play his daughters. For such young actresses, they fucking can keep up with Louis, and that's pretty impressive.
Oh my God, Pamela, she's so frustrating.
Oh, Pamela, yes.
Oh.
Right? That's what you love about the show is that it does frustrate you sometimes. It'll make you laugh 1 minute, and the next minute you're just like screaming at the TV, Pamela, leave him alone.
Knock it off, Pamela. Stop it.
The last
Why do you have to be such
episode,
a jerk? You know?
She broke up with him, right?
Right. Well, there's that. Well, it's crazy because Louis, he's like he misinterprets something and he thinks she says wait for him, and then he goes and dates two chicks in the meantime. I'm like, what the fuck do you want, Louis? Louis doesn't know what the fuck he wants, and Pamela doesn't know what the fuck she wants, and they keep doing this, and they know they want each other, but they don't know how to make the fucking puzzle go together.
I love that every character is imperfect.
Sorry, I shouldn't be yelling so much.
Every character is flawed, especially Louis.
Oh, it's
human. It's human. It's like watching human
every character's flawed. His brother is such a fucking mess. Oh my God, I love his brother. His brother's hilarious. It's not his real brother, but
no.
That character's fucking hilarious. Oh my God.
All right,
I know someone like that.
Watch Louis. We got to get back on track though. Watch Louis.
Hey, you know, this is the only time you get to talk about non-horror stuff. It's okay. You're allowed this. All right. I'm a Patreon. We're talking about Louis. All right. This is how this works. No.
Yeah, well, okay, I love Louis. My favorite comedian is George Carlin.
Oh, yeah, George Carlin was awesome.
Yeah, you know, it was so funny, because in his early days, he was really silly, but as he got older, he got more political, more dark.
Cynical.
Yes,
yeah.
He grew up, you know?
Yeah.
He got tired of trying to do comedy the way the system wanted him to do comedy. He started doing comedy the way he wanted to do comedy. And you can see the pearls of that with the 5 words or 7 words. I can't remember the shtick. Sorry.
I think it was the 7 words.
Yeah, 7 words.
The really cool thing about George Carlin is even when he's being funny, his thing is he enlightened people.
True. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like his
he's a misanthrope.
Enlightened people and everything.
But he's also
I would probably consider Carlin the master
of comedy.
No. He was a master wordsmith. Have you read his books? I mean, they translate well regardless. He was a master wordsmith.
The guy, dude, there's one of his specials he opens up with where he goes on a tirade about every catchphrase you've ever heard. He used it all in this long monologue about.
Yes.
And it's how does he remember all that shit? So much to remember.
Well, that's another thing you gotta like about him. It's just like how he remembers all that stuff, how he comes up with all this stuff, and how enlightening it is. It's amazing.
It's all just observations from his life too, which is why it's so brilliant. It's why we all like it so much because we can communicate, you know.
He is for sure probably one of the smartest comedians.
Connect. That's what I'm saying. We're gonna connect. Wrong word.
Yeah, I would agree.
Him and Louis, yes, two of the smartest men in the room, always.
For real.
Seinfeld,
you know, I don't like a lot of comedians.
You know. Yeah.
I like me some stand-up.
George Carlin, I like.
I did my top 5 favorite stand-up comedian video fucking a long time ago before my channel even became a horror channel, and it was I think Jerry Seinfeld 5, and then Bill Burr I think was 4.
Jim Norton. Oh my God, Jim Norton.
Shucks, I'm missing one, but I know that it was Louis probably was 2, and then Carlin was number 1. I forgot one. I can't remember which one I'm missing.
From what I know,
Doug Stanhope's really great too.
I've never seen him.
Ari Shaffir.
You started out as a comedy channel, and then you did the Part 7 Friday the 13th review. I remember that video, your first one.
You know, I actually think you should just drop the word horror from the title there, and you can just review whatever the fuck you want. You just
I did
horror,
drop it. It's just called the Death Twitch now. But I'm specifically targeting a niche. So
mostly horror. Yeah. But you can cross over. You know, you can get some sci-fi fancy stuff there, especially if it's like a title released by Scream Factory. People let it slide.
Well, some sci-fi, sure, but I'm not the biggest sci-fi fan myself. Only, yeah, it has to be something really impressive to me.
Blade Runner.
That's,
At least
that's
some
why I'm not the biggest fan of Jason X. It's just sci-fi throws me off.
Yep, and I talked all about that in my review of Jason X.
what do
And I know, like,
What am I doing
nerd
here?
culture is the biggest thing out there right now, and I'm not a nerd fan, so sorry to everybody that's listening and watching.
Excuse me for being. I'm always disappointed when people aren't as eclectic as I am when it comes to watching movies. It always bums me out. I could
That's
not
the way
live.
I am with music.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm like that with music and movies and TV shows. I watch anything at least once.
Mm-hmm.
Most things I'll watch twice. If I think if it deserves a second watching, I'll watch it again. Like, you know, I didn't like certain movie, but maybe like 10 years later, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna give it a try. Like Jason X, I haven't seen in about 10 years. I'm gonna try that again because I don't know. I've seen a few reviews recently. You know, J Bond over at and his crew over at Bloodbath and Beyond.
Bloodbath and Beyond.
You know, they just did a review, and I was like, okay, you know what? I guess I should revisit it at least just one more time. That just see if maybe I was just dumb because I was a different person then. I'm a different person now, right?
It's like with Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5. Years ago I saw it. It was weird, and I tried to like it. I just couldn't. I tried.
Yeah.
It just ugh.
I think I might have been discussing this on one of the other streams and I'm actually a bigger music fan than I am a movie fan, and the reason why my channel is about movies is because it's a visual medium and plays better on YouTube. At one point, I was telling one of my friends the other night. I was like, because we were talking about music. He's like, you should start a music channel. And I said, I probably will eventually. Called the Death Twitch Music Review or something at some point. I just do happen to be excruciatingly picky about movies, and in a way that people can't understand how I like one thing and don't like another. It's just who I am, and I want to be more open-minded. I think it's just the idea that I would like to direct movies one day kind of makes me more critical, I think. So that's why, like, yeah.
Would you ever try acting
that's
if you
why.
could? Would you ever do like one acting job?
Sure, yeah, I would. But I mean, I sometimes I'd try and act on my channel and skits and stuff, and I already know I'm not good at it.
Oh,
Sure,
I'm gonna do that. That's coming up. I'm gonna be doing skits and shit, but it's all gonna be totally tongue in cheek, and because I can't act, so I'm gonna act badly more.
I think
I
Eric
actually
did a skits and
exaggerated.
shit. I think Eric did one.
I want to make a purposefully bad movie one day.
See, here's the thing. Eric has green screen, so I'm totally gonna enlist him. I'm totally gonna be like, all right, dude, I need you to be running. Imagine you're running from, I don't know, Bulls. Go.
All right, I can do that.
It'd be awesome. It'd be great. And I'm gonna get his green screen, and we can just trade some footage back and forth, and it'd be good for us. I just think it'd be hilarious, and then of course
It'll be
it'll
terrible.
running away, but it'll just be like, you know.
Did you watch the
Bunch of
outtakes? Did you watch the outtakes yet to my Jaws 3? Because then you'll see how bad of an actor I am.
It's hilarious when you're doing that. Wait, maybe I should go the other way. Yeah, like,
Well, speaking of Jaws 3, I
like
just like their faces of how they react at the end when the shark comes. Just the
Yeah.
way they react.
I love
And
Jaws.
the shark looks ridiculous. It's like
It
the
does.
way it's coming to the screen. It's
The
so
shark?
stupid.
It's
yeah.
hilarious that none of its fins or body is moving and the mouth barely opens a little
It's
bit.
just gliding towards you, briskly. You know?
Nothing is moving and the whole shark is fucking hilarious.
The problem with that shot is they just hold on to it too long. They should have cut back and forth quicker. So you assume maybe it's pumping its stuff between shots, right? There'd be a little more. You can suspend reality just a little bit more.
I actually meant to make my reaction shot slow-mo like theirs is in the movie, but I just didn't want to drag it out anymore. I made the editing kind of really sharp and quick to try and make it work together.
Yeah, I got emailed this review copy of a movie recently, and I'm not gonna say it's final, but I'm watching it and I'm going like, Could have cut that. Like I want to if I do a review, I'm just gonna be like, whoa, this needed a lot of editing, and I'm gonna because that bothers me because it like Blood Slaughter Massacre. If you've ever seen that pile of crap, it's out of focus for 75% of the movie. But then also it lingers on shots with nobody in it, and things are bad. Like we start scenes at awkward moments, and we end scenes sometimes in dialogue, and it's badly edited. It's just like, God.
Oh,
It's also almost 2 hours long. It's like, are you fucking kidding me with this shit? Like, oh my God.
Scene in Jaws 3 when they first encounter the baby shark and it chases them and the dolphins help them get away. That whole scene is edited like they threw a new person in there just for that one scene. The whole rest of the movie is edited pretty much fine. That one scene is insane. They keep showing the same shot over and over again.
I guarantee you that was slapped together because the original ending was poor, or perhaps there's a problem with the footage. I guarantee you that's what happened with that, and that's why it looked sloppy, because it was sloppy, because they had no other choice, you know.
And of course, the original thing for Jaws 3 was to be Jaws 3 People Zero. Would you see that if they made it Jaws 3 People Zero?
Fuck yes.
They had made a spoof.
It'd be funny.
If it would have been a spoof? Yeah, I would have been all over that, dude.
I suppose. I actually, and I don't. I know I gave it a relatively low rating, but I do like Jaws 3.
I love
really,
Jaws
honestly,
3.
the only thing that takes away from me is the 3D didn't need to be there. It took away from the storytelling. Because they're busy trying to put shit in front of the screen.
That's when they did Amityville 3D, and they did Treasure of the Four Crowns, and
Friday the 13th Part 3.
Space Hunter, Adventures in the Forbidden Zone.
Yeah, every 20 years, 3D tries to make a comeback.
It's done pretty good. I think it's stuck finally.
What do you think of Jaws: The Revenge?
I think it's the worst sequel.
It's terrible.
All I hear is everybody says it's the worst.
The slasher film with a shark, dude. That's all it is. Seriously, it's Michael Myers, but in shark form. He's hunting down a specific family and trying to kill them all. That's the premise of the movie. That all the other people who have died are because they're related to the Brody family, and that Jaws has a beef with them. Or the sister shark has.
So you guys are going to have to wait a few weeks before you know my official opinion on Jaws: The Revenge. And I might say it's the best movie ever. You don't know. You never know.
Hey,
be surprised.
Just remember, it's a slasher film with a shark.
I might be the only person to back that film up. I don't know.
I'd rather watch that than Resurrection. I'll tell you that one right now.
Whoa. Well, okay.
Yeah, like Resurrection. Let's not. You know what? God damn it! Everybody knows that I hate that movie so much that it has to be brought up every time just to get me going. Fuck it.
I hate that movie.
You know,
so bad.
That's how I found your channel. Is I hated the film. I hated the film for years. I'm like, you know what? I want somebody to share my pain. I want somebody to know I want to know if somebody feels the way I do. And I saw your channel. I'm like, all right, I'm subscribing to this guy. And that's how it started.
I'm glad somebody agrees with me.
Fuck, I don't know what your first review is. I don't know. I find, like, I think you commented on someone else's video, and I do sometimes when someone makes a comment, I go, Death Twitch. That sounds like a cool name. Open that and go check their videos out. And I think I watched a couple of your videos, and I was like, hey, this guy's alright. And then I watched more, and I'm like, okay, this guy's pretty good. Fuck, this guy's better than me. Damn it. Alright, subscribe. Putting some more effort into your videos than I do, is for sure.
And I also definitely agreed with your review on Jason Goes to Hell. Ugh. Terrible.
I like the concept, but not as a Jason movie. Like, if it were some other movie, if it just weren't related to those movies, I think it would be a different story. I think it would be more interesting as a film, and at least have more fans, you know, because it would be at least an interesting concept. But it's a Jason movie, so
it's kind of a mess, don't you think, Brandon? It's kind of a mess.
Yes, it is a mess. I would love to see a re-edit of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the most, aside from my Halloween Resurrection review, Jason Goes to Hell is where I'm probably the most frustrated you'll ever see me. Trying to explain the plot was so hard.
Came out of fucking nowhere. God.
Like, the first time I watched it, I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, he's body jumping? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, it's pretty confusing. They didn't know what they were doing.
Like I said, that script basically gets reworked as Fallen, and it becomes a better movie, right? Because it's not attached to a previous thing. You know, it's a horror thing
has
that
to be-
travels from body to body. It's the same concept.
If it has to be like Friday the 13th, Jason Voorhees related, in the movie they do show the Necronomicon. So if they were going to do a crossover, if I could see Ash versus Jason, that might be pretty cool.
Hmm.
I might be down with that. Oh my God, Ash with his one-liners, trying to kick Jason's ass. That could be a good fucking movie.
Now, what I would like to see is they probably won't make this, but I would like to see Michael versus Jason. You know what I
Michael
mean?
versus Jason. I don't know. I'd rather have. I'd like to see Ash versus Jason.
Michael Myers versus Leatherface any day. Or Leatherface versus Ash and have a chainsaw fight. Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. Fuck.
Or if we
Chainsaw
want the
battle.
Texas Chainsaw
Oh, how
3D.
about this?
No, here's this. Texas Chainsaw 3D timeline, right? Since Leatherface is a good guy-ish, he's a bad guy, but with a good guy at the helm. So,
Imagine
you can have
this.
her team up with Ash and fight Jason and Michael Myers. There we go.
All right. Yeah, you're getting
Imagine-
crazy.
That's the point. Yeah, if you're going to go all out, you might as well go all out.
Imagine the one-liners if you had an Ash versus Freddy. Imagine the one-liners
Yeah,
in
they
that
would
movie.
not stop talking the whole movie.
Yeah.
It could be a battle of words.
It'd be a long movie. It'd probably be a long-ass movie.
That could be hilarious. That's a straight-up comedy, though.
Ash versus Freddy. Yeah, it wouldn't be
Ash
horror,
versus
no.
Freddy. It would just be each character trying to get the last good one-liner.
Yeah, they'd be like stabbing each other. Oh, blah, 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 stab. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Just like, stop
It would be entertaining. Entertaining.
That would be hilarious. I'll admit.
I would love to see those two chew up the scenery together. Even if I just put those two, get him on, get Robert Englund on Ash versus the Evil Dead. Get him as a guest star for an episode. Come on.
That'd be cool. It
Yeah.
could happen.
And get like other people, like let's get Reggie Bannister from the Phantasm series over here. Fuck, they should just cross over those two continuities since Scott Scarlett owns the rights to it. That would be the perfect thing to do, actually.
Speaking of Freddy, do you guys remember like a show? There was like a Freddy show, I believe.
Yeah,
back in the day.
Freddy's Nightmares.
Freddy's Nightmares. Yeah.
It was an interesting show.
It's entertaining. It's not the worst.
The first episode is like the kind of the prequel. Shows how he was the Springwood Slasher, how he became Freddy Krueger.
That's what part 6 like was trying to do, I believe. Was trying to explain the background.
Yeah.
But they did the pilot episode was all about that. I thought that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Good way to start your show. And then after that it became good because at least it was better than the Friday the 13th series in the sense that you put on Freddy's Nightmares and you got Freddy Krueger and Nightmares. You got what you were going in for.
And then for Friday the 13th, you had a Friday the 13th show, which didn't have Jason or anything like that.
Didn't have nothing.
No, but it was about this. It had a really interesting premise, like this antique shop full of like cursed objects and shit. Like,
Yeah,
that was it, right? I'm not crazy.
If they had
Poltergeist.
something else, it might have been okay.
But yeah, like there was a Poltergeist show too, I think.
Was there?
I could have swore.
Poltergeist show, huh? There might have been.
I'm gonna look right now.
I will give the show this. The show kind of had a creepy, mysterious feel.
I haven't seen
Yeah, it's
a whole lot
Poltergeist
of
the
the
Legacy.
Friday series.
4 fucking seasons. Holy shit.
Poltergeist had a okay.
So-
That's why it sounded
Yeah.
familiar.
Okay. So the premise of that is that the Legacy is a secret society that began many centuries ago to accumulate knowledge and artifacts to help fight against the evil in the world. I think this is what I was actually thinking of. Not.
When was that made?
That was in '96 to '99.
Oh, okay.
So during the really bad years of network television, for the most part, minus like Dark Angel and Buffy and a few things here and there.
X-Files.
X-Files, yes. No, that was the last years of X-Files, wasn't it?
I don't know.
No, that was mid-seasons. Never mind.
No, yeah,
That was
it
good
went on for a while, dude. They had
That
a
was good
movie
season,
and
yeah.
everything.
They're coming back again, too.
I
Yeah,
know.
huh?
I'm so excited.
Yeah, Scully is hot, man. She's pretty hot.
Forever.
She has my same birthday, August 9th. How about that?
See, I don't get to share my birthday with anyone cool other than Werner Herzog, and he's not pretty. He's crazy, but he's not pretty.
You know, Jason Goes to Hell kind of has the Friday the 13th TV show feel to it, if you kind of look at it.
I suppose.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned in my review. Cause
Are you guys... I know Eric's not too excited for the show, the next show. How about you, Brandon? Are you looking forward to the new Friday the 13th show?
I don't know. Is there a teaser yet?
No, we
No.
got
All right then.
details and stuff.
Ask me when there's more information. I need both a trailer and plot details, otherwise there's no point. I gotta see what it's gonna look like, and then know the kind of the idea of the story. I don't want spoilers, obviously, but
Yeah, that was a question from Jay Lee TV from a long time ago. Sorry, it took us. We were babbling. Took us a while to get to it. I already did a video about this. Do I gotta repeat myself? I'm just kidding.
No.
I will. It sounds like weird. It's gonna be a meta movie about the killer that inspired Jason Voorhees, the killer that inspired the movies Friday the 13th, which there is no real killer, but
It's hard to understand it. It's like
it is. Yeah, it's hard to wrap your mind around.
It's like part 6 of Michael Myers. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I don't understand this.
I just want the movie, and I hope that they're taking so long because they're trying to make a good Friday. It's going to be the 13th, Friday the 13th. It better be at least
Better be
decent.
good. Better be good.
I sent a tweet to the CEO of Paramount. I think his name is Brad Gray or something. I said, and I was a little rude about it. I didn't mean to be rude, but I was like, hey, dude, just simple. Give us fucking Camp Novi Bosco, the original camp from the original movie. We all want to see that again. We haven't seen it since the fucking first one. Give us the original camp one more time. Give us some Kane Hodder action, and then don't make it in space. That's all.
And give us some fun characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was my biggest gripe about the remake was the characters were not fucking fun. They're annoying.
Real douchebags.
It's like
they were douchebags.
You know why Supernatural's on season 11, guys? Because they have likable characters.
Likeable characters is a good thing when it comes to Friday the 13th, or anything, but especially Friday. Because come on, one of the biggest differences between like Friday and say Halloween is that it's more of a fun movie.
Yes, and Halloween's more serious. It's way
more of a serious tone. But Friday has always been fun. Keep that shit fun. Give us fun characters, not people that are annoying and make you want to walk out of the movie. That's right, I said it. Now all the Friday remake fans are getting angry.
Like Friday the 13th, it's almost like a fast food kind of horror movie. You know what I mean? Like you're just going for some fun and.
It's like the McDonald's dollar menu.
Yeah, and then like. Halloween's like some big Italian restaurant or
Yeah, there is always that distinct difference is that Halloween did have a different sort of tone. It wasn't nearly as playful as Friday the 13th.
Right. But it was taken very, very seriously, you know, like extremely seriously.
Yeah, pretty serious. Even if the characters, like in the original one, you know, the original teens are fine, they're fun. They're all just trying to get laid and drunk, and that's cool.
I will say this. I like PJ's character way better than the character in the Rob Zombies remake. You know, Linda?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because...
Because PJ Soul's character, at least she was fun. She was fun, but the one in the remake, she's just a bitch, you know?
Yeah, well, that's in line with Rob Zombie's idea of what people are, I guess, because everybody's always a dick and they're all dirty and they look like they smell bad and everybody's got long hair and they cuss more than normal people.
Because I mean, that's what he was trying to do with that's what he was trying to do with the remake. He wanted to make it like as realistic as possible. Michael Myers is the way he is because his family was trash. You know, try to make it as realistic as possible, I guess.
I defend
the second one.
I do defend the second one, even though it's clearly fucking flawed. It is, but I defend Scout Taylor Compton probably because I have a crush on her. But I actually, and everybody always gives her shit like, God, she just screams. I'm like, yeah, well, that's probably the correct reaction to almost being murdered.
Well, she is a good actress. She has talent.
I like that she just lets it go, and she just, you can tell like she's really like letting it all go out there.
Tyler Mane also did a really good job as Michael.
I hear people give crap for, oh, it's a 7-foot Michael Myers, but I think he's got pretty good presence.
Speaking of Michael, the guy Chris Durand, who played him in H2O,
Right.
he really reminds me of Nick Castle. He does.
Yeah, well, and they didn't try and make him bulky or anything in H2O. Like in the original Halloween, Nick Castle, I think I mentioned this before, he's quite skinny and normal stature. There's nothing physically intimidating about his stature. It's just that
He wasn't scary.
Although I'd say he was more intimidating than Dick Warlock. Would you agree?
Hey, do not disrespect Dick Warlock.
Hey, I love Dick Warlock. I'm just saying, compared to
honored
Nick
that
Castle.
man. I honored that man by creating a role-playing character who was a Jawa named
He's
Dick
awesome.
Warlock.
He was in Jaws. He was one of the
He's Kurt Russell's
guys.
stunt double.
Yeah, I think he did a
decade.
really good job as Michael. I'm just saying, compared to Nick Castle.
but I'm a Nick Castle fan because if you watch those two movies, Nick is more natural about his movement a lot of times, and when he needs to be kind of weird, like when he grabs the kid that's running out, the way he just stands there is creepy. But nothing, not too big of a complaint about Dick's portrayal. I kind of wish he wasn't so stiff though in part 2.
The way I see it is Michael, he's part human, and you can see that side with Nick Castle. And Dick Warlock's present as Michael is scary, but it's too zombie like.
I find it zombie.
That's where they were heading with the character, though. I mean,
well, somebody explained to me. Somebody left a comment on one of my reviews, and they said, "Well, he kind of behaves that way because he's been shot and stabbed so many times."
He got shot with like three.
You know what? And I will buy that. That's fine. I'll buy that.
Got shot 3 times like a 38 special, fell out of a second story, got stabbed, I think, in the leg at some point.
I'll buy it. That's fine. But I do still.
Missing an eye. Don't forget.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If I had a Dick Warlock, Michael Myers after me, I'd be pissing myself. Although I can get a head start because of how fucking slow he was walking.
But you know what? Just like the smallest, simplest example of what I like about Nick Castle as Michael Myers is in the first one at night when he's stalking, I believe, Annie. And he's kind of behind the tree, and then he moves from one side of the tree to the other, and he puts his hand up on the tree bark, and like any other character that would play Michael would just stand there with both arms straight down like a zombie at all times, but he was still human, sort of.
And it was also partly because of how John Carpenter directed it. Like when you see him in the black, and you just see a shape, like it's.
Oh, I know. I love.
No.
He's truly the shape in part 1.
I'm not saying that I think Dick Warlock's the best. No, I'm just saying I think Castle was the best. The first one, it's the best. It's the best. It's the best.
I agree with you, Brandon. That's cool.
I really like Dick Warlock because he's Dick Warlock. I mean, come on. He was a Jawa in my Star Wars universe. I have to bring that story up every
Who's the worst Michael, then?
And,
who is in number 5?
Don Shanks?
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of Mr. Shanks.
Don Shanks, he had his nose broken by Donald Pleasance, when he was getting hit by the wood.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he got his nose broken.
Well, Pleasance is a tough old bastard, or was a tough old bastard.
Yeah.
The scene in part 5 when he stabs the guy with a pitchfork and then walks away like a pimp.
Yeah. I mean, no,
Part 4 is the one where he kind of looks terrible because
Goofy.
the whole costume's a mess.
Resurrection is the worst Michael Myers. I'm sorry.
Oh, the Resurrection is the worst everything.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's just, it's so bad.
So, Brandon,
Like
what do you
that
think of
movie.
Halloween 5?
I like half of it.
It's all right.
It has good scenes. Like, what about the vent scene? That was a good scene. The vent when he's stabbing her through
I
the
like
vent.
the barn stuff because that's where he's really kind of in the dark a lot. And sometimes it might take multiple viewings. If you really watch the barn scene, he's kind of in the background in the dark more than you realize.
Well, actually, the director, Dominique, he wanted to return it to the original style of the first film, and in some ways he did it with the barn scene, put him in the dark.
And it was, I think it was probably just the introduction of the Thorn thing is what really took it off the rails.
It's not a bad movie. It's just not a good one,
Yeah.
It's okay, yeah.
It's okay.
I actually had no problem with the introduction of the Thorn and how it ends. I have no problem with that. It just, I wish they could have. I wish he would have gotten to do the sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody.
What do you think? Like
in
Michael,
the
he's taking
comments-
off his mask. You don't even see his face.
Oh, go ahead. Oh yeah,
Like
he's not even
like in
burnt
Halloween
part 5.
Okay, in part 5, the biggest promotion is you're gonna see Michael's face, but
And
right when he takes it off, it's all black.
Bullshit. It's bullshit. I remember that shit. It's bullshit. That was their biggest selling
On
point.
Blu-ray, you can see his face though.
First of all, shouldn't he be toasted?
Well,
Burn up.
like I don't.
Even in
who
part
gives a
4,
crap?
even in part 4, after having been in a coma for 10 years, they still had him wrapped in bandages.
I know, right? Oh my god.
Okay,
Yeah.
look, hold on real quick. Somebody says, Music Killer says, what if he had a gun? And I don't know, I think he's talking about Halloween. Like, this is something I've always thought about.
What if
It's
Michael
fucking-
Myers had a gun?
it's fucking stupid, but what if, like, say Michael or Jason just used the Uzi or something instead of the
No,
knife?
they don't. They don't understand the complex machine of a gun, so they would just bludgeon someone to death with a gun.
I just think the idea is hilarious.
And Uzi's perfect because those things are like 10 pounds. They're not that. They're not heavy. They're like 6 pounds. They're heavy as shit. They're really heavy. I've held one. They are heavy weapons.
Well, speaking of both of them, it's a good question. Who would win in a fight, Michael or Jason?
That would not fight would just end in a stalemate.
It
Both
would be a
undead.
stalemate.
Yeah.
And it would go
They
on
would fight
forever.
until they were both incapable of fighting. So whoever was incapable of fighting, it would be a coin toss every time.
So we can make a TV show of Michael versus Jason and keep it going.
Every couple episodes, they start off again.
Hey, that could work.
Oh my god! Like at the boxing match, they put him in a boxing ring and shit, like cockfighting with slashers. Oh my god! That sounds like an awesome.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds like an
They
awesome
should
short
totally-
film. Cockfighting with slasher characters. Someone should do that and put Madman Mars in it.
The big face-off should somehow find themselves in a ring. Well,
Muhammad Ali versus
let's look
Superman.
at their styles, right? Because I'd say that Jason is more aggressive, and Michael is more stealthy.
Or cunning. Yeah.
Don't you think Michael's smarter than Jason? I think he's a lot smarter.
Yeah, because Jason is basically a giant 8-year-old.
And he's a mama's boy. I mean, he is.
Technically, Michael Myers could have had education while he was locked up. I mean,
or like in H2O, like Michael's like stealthy. He goes in to get the files from that nurse lady who got killed.
Michael knows how to drive a car. So
Yeah.
he can just run Jason over numerous times. over
no,
and over.
dude. An 8-year-old knows how to drive a car. Who gives a shit?
I give a shit. Hey, you've never seen Jason drive ever.
He doesn't need to. He stows ways on boats and shit.
Yeah, he just take the boat.
I think Friday the 13th Part 4 has to be the best. I mean, they had so many good kills. You had great characters like Crispin Glover and Corey Feldman. I think it's the best one.
Dude, I haven't seen the Friday the 13th films in at least 8 years. When I finally get them from storage, I will be doing a rewatch.
I pretty
Hopefully
much
that happens
watch it
before
every
Halloween.
month. And here's the thing where I would say Part 4 is probably the best sequel, but I'm one of the rare peeps that totally stands up for Part 1, where a lot of people just seem to shrug off Part 1. I really like Part 1.
You know, the first time I watched Part 1, I was scared to go to the freaking lake. I really was.
Like Part 2. I remember really liking Part 2
as well, yeah. And I like 3. The first 4, like the original 4, are probably the best, yeah.
Because they got everything right.
The 1 to 5 chapters that you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, that was after it was after that is when they started thinking, we can't keep making the same movie. Oh wait, let's try new stuff. We'll make the same movie, but this time we'll reveal that it was a copycat killer.
However, Part 6 is a lot of fun. I love Part 6.
And I recently did the Drunken Terry for 5, and I said it in the Drunken Terry, and I'll say it again here. It's like it could have. I personally think that if they had to go with there was a copycat killer, why was it never Tommy? That would have been so much better, don't you think? Instead of random paramedic guy.
Why not
And
guy
just for the
traumatized
plot.
by events?
And just for
Especially
the plot for
considering how Part
paramedic
4
to not
ends.
kill the guy who killed his son.
I wonder if that was they rewrote that ending because people didn't like it.
It sounds like it was shoehorned right into that fucking movie.
Right.
Should have been Tommy if they had to go that route.
It's the most logical choice. Maybe that's why they didn't go, because it was the obvious choice.
You know what? It would have been. Oh my God, this would have been the best. First of all, they hinted at that at the end of Part 4. Tommy looks like he was a little psychologically disturbed from his experience with Jason. Part 5, make it seem like it's the real Jason, and we come to find out in the twist ending that it's actually Tommy, and it makes kind of sense, and we're shown how it makes sense why he's psychologically damaged, and then have the real Jason come in and fucking kill Tommy, the fake Jason.
You're talking about like 1994 Undertaker versus Undertaker at SummerSlam, Survivor Series? Or are we talking about like fake Undertaker versus real Undertaker?
I wouldn't see. You're talking a different language now.
Oh God, you're right. Fine. Good. Real Jason versus fake Jason. Like,
Okay,
how about
speaking
He-Man
of,
versus Faker? Like, you get no. All right.
you know, speaking of copycat killers, the original idea for Halloween H2O, Halloween 7, is that there was going to be like a copycat killer as Michael, and at the end Michael would show up and they would fight.
That would have been awesome.
I never heard that.
That would have saved that movie.
Because you know the guy who's in Jumanji? One of the people from Jumanji was in H2O.
Yeah,
He was going to be the copycat killer.
Ah.
Oh, I do vaguely remember hearing about that.
Mm-hmm. But it was Jamie Lee Curtis, I think, who commissioned, and she said, it's 20 years later, let's end the series and be done with it.
If only we had that ending.
Resurrection should have been a copycat killer with Michael Myers showing up at the end. That would have been cool too. That would have saved that movie too. I'm like, hell yeah,
every time they have a bad idea, they should just use a copycat and then have the real guy come in and take care of business.
Ever since I was 3 years old, Jamie Lee Curtis has been my favorite actress, and hopefully it stays forever.
Since you were 3,
Yeah.
you like her in Prom Night?
Yeah, I do. She's pretty cute. She has a different hairstyle, if you notice, than like the original Halloween. It's all cut and everything. I like Prom Night. It's okay. It's not a perfect movie.
What about Terror Train?
I love Terror
That's
Train.
the one I was going to mention next.
Terror Train's better than Prom Night. In my opinion.
I don't know, man.
I would probably have to side with that. I mean, Terror Train is okay, but I'm not like the biggest Prom Night fan.
The problem with Prom Night is that it's just too slow at times. You know what I mean?
Oh, you kids.
Well,
exactly.
you kids. What the hell?
I know you're older than me, but that's kind of the point.
You silly. So I can call you old then, right? You old man.
Yep.
None of the other Patreons made it. They tried. Everett, sorry, dude. I see that you keep popping in and popping out. I wish you could have made it.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry that April had to fucking bail. I don't know what happened there. But anyway, we're here. Should I throw somebody else a link? Want to bring Marcy into this?
Yeah, bring Marcy in, man. Oh, she can't. I think she might able. You try, though. Wouldn't hurt.
I'm gonna try it. Yeah, I think this is the biggest news everywhere right now is the Wes Craven situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when Freddy vs. Jason was coming out, back in the day.
Yeah, me too. I remember it fucking made a lot of money.
And so, in prepared for that, I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch the Friday the 13th movies. And I got scared. I couldn't go to the lake. And I watched the Nightmare on Elm Street. And I wasn't scared by the Elm Street movie. I was just had a lot of fun.
Well, the first one's the real scary one, I think.
That's the thing. Even though it seems like the possibilities inherent in a Friday the Nightmare on Elm Street should have been the one to produce the most sequels, but it wasn't though. And now I'm one of the few people that actually want him to just kind of stop. Which
I don't know. I'd give him one more shot.
It's a little bit of a waste of all the potential there, but I think it was the remake that really has sealed the deal for me.
It was not the actor. Let's stress that it was the script.
No, it wasn't the actor at all.
Yeah.
I don't give Jackie Earle Haley shit at all for what he did. It's the
He's a good
script
dude,
and
man.
it was the movie.
Yeah. He's a really good actor. I think it's a bum rap.
I mean,
It's creepy, but yeah.
That's
Sorry.
something you gotta going into is like putting on like the hockey mask is one thing, but when Robert Englund was always the only Freddy for over 20 years, that's some big shoes to fill.
Yeah, they put all that makeup, and that must have been a pain in the ass, to have all that makeup
I know.
on and
He
stuff.
hated it too.
God, who the hell did they cast for the new one? I thought that was actually a good choice. Jesus. IMDb.
The cast of emos.
No, they cast the new Freddy, and I thought it was an interesting choice.
Oh, I don't even care. I just don't.
Apparently, it was one of the guys from A Christmas Story. I believe one of the kids. I was gonna be Freddy. I could be wrong. I
No,
don't know.
you're thinking of that Jay Bond was trying to petition for.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
For that guy, Zach Ward, I believe.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think Zach Ward would have been an interesting choice, actually.
I would agree. Yeah, I would agree.
He has like that face. That face that he could.
It's true. He does. He kind of does. He's got a different body type though than Robert Englund. That was always something I really liked about Freddy Krueger or Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger is that he wasn't like a big. He was actually supposed to be a bigger, bulkier guy, and then they got this kind of lanky, skinny dude.
I think Kevin Bacon would also make a really interesting Freddy Krueger, or Willem Dafoe maybe.
Fucking Kevin Bacon, holy shit!
Dude, Christopher Walken. I was Christopher Walken.
Walken.
What about William Shatner? Let's just do that. Let's just make it real meta. He plays a different slasher from a different slasher movie, even though his face is used as a shape.
William Shatner, you wouldn't even have to put the makeup on him anymore.
I know, it's so great.
Just put the hat and the sweater.
Speaking of, who was the director of Christmas Story? Bob Clark.
Yeah, Bob Clark.
Yeah, he.
Great movie, by the way.
Christmas.
And like you said, with Black Christmas, like, I don't know if this is true. There was like a meeting between him and John Carpenter, and like John's like, "Oh, what would you do for a sequel?" And he's like, "I'll just set it on Halloween." I don't know if it's true, but I've heard that.
Yeah, that's the rumor that I have heard as well.
Yeah, whatever.
And speaking of, and fucking Halloween is my favorite shit ever, and I have so much respect for John Carpenter, but there's that song by Styx that has the Halloween theme, and it came out a year before Halloween was released.
Wasn't your brother playing that song?
Yeah, what's it called? It's called, no, I thought it was Rush. Wasn't it Rush?
No, it's Styx. I just listened
It's
to
something
it last
Castles.
night.
It's something
Castles. Right. I listened to it not too long ago, and I just fucking couldn't remember.
I totally was like listening to it 2 nights ago, so let me look it up again.
Yes, you were. That's where I listened to it. You liked it and it showed up on your Twitter feed. And I was like, what the fuck's this?
Okay, yeah, I did tweet it.
Speaking of Rush, I am a
Castle
fan.
Walls,
You hit the like button,
that.
and that's the next post. So.
And it's like when it's so crazy because it doesn't start until like 2 minutes 20 seconds into the song, but then all of a sudden you're like listening to this cool, classic rock song, and then all of a sudden, da na 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 na, and I'm just like, whoa,
it's like
Halloween.
Different. It's different, but it's
it's like more synthesized.
Yeah.
It could have inspired maybe John Carpenter to make this
here's
sound.
the thing. As someone who understands, I really have an acute awareness for the stuff. Like, artists see a lot of stuff. They just and it's subconsciously, maybe it was inspired by. Obviously, never intended to rip off it. But
Right.
It's at the very least a subconscious like homage.
Because there is a difference between ripping off something and just being inspired.
Exactly.
Because you can add your own
Pretty
piece
close,
to it.
though. I think he might have had it playing in the background while writing the script or something.
Maybe, and he didn't realize it.
One of the great things.
I can't see him.
Because I'm the last person to come out here and be like, John Carpenter ripped anything off. I don't want to admit that if it was true.
It's not true. He would never do that on purpose. Come on, it's fucking John Carpenter. He's one of the most original people in Hollywood for 30 years.
Yeah, dude.
I mean,
John Carpenter made Starman.
Was Nick Castle in that?
Everybody knew that.
Oh, hey, I have Starman right here. Let's see here.
Oh,
Nick Castle. No. Jeff Bridges, Karen Allen. Charles Martin Smith. Yep, nope.
I believe Nick Castle made The Boy That Could Fly. I believe he did that.
So this is a bootleg copy of the UK DVD because it has a specific commentary not available in America at all.
Uh-huh.
So I decided I was like, yeah. This is how much of a fan I am of John Carpenter. I had to hear the commentary.
I love John Carpenter. He's my favorite director. He's my favorite writer. I love Christine. Love Halloween.
One of my main theses when I was in film school was on John Carpenter's work and his Siege films specifically.
Would you ever do a documentary about John Carpenter? Brandon?
I don't think I'm good enough.
Yeah, you could give it a shot. One day.
Maybe I've been working on this video that's gonna probably be about 30 to 40 minutes long for my channel. That is a look at like the economy as reflected through the three main horror films: one from Hooper, one from Carpenter, and one from Romero.
That sounds interesting.
So, and all from the late 80s. Is the idea.
George Romero, he directed the first 6 Living Dead movies, I believe, and he was also a producer of
the only 6 Living Dead films.
Yeah, he was also a producer of some show, Tales from the Dark Side. Yes, he was a producer.
Mm-hmm. He also directed the Creepshow movie. He did.
Yeah, he did Creepshow.
He did Night Riders.
Isn't Tom Atkins in Creepshow?
Yeah, I don't remember. It's been a while.
I remember Leslie Nielsen and Ted Danson.
Of course you remember those two. Jesus.
And Leslie Nielsen. Hey, don't forget Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen and Leslie Nielsen was in Prom Night as well.
Yeah, he was Jamie Lee Curtis's dad
in that movie. Forbidden Planet. Dude, he's unrecognizably young in Forbidden Planet.
God, I gotta get me that WNUF Halloween special. Shit.
The thing about Leslie Nielsen started like really serious, but then he just got totally comedic with like Naked Gun, which I like that movie.
I like me some Naked Gun.
Yeah.
He's the silliest ever, dude.
He was the king of spoofs for a while there, man.
Yeah, my favorite shit he ever did. It was in. I actually can't even remember what movie it was. Unfortunately, I think it was like The Spy, one of the spy movies. Naked Gun.
Spy Hard. It's called Spy Hard.
Yeah, I think it might have been Spy Hard, where.
Yeah.
He's at some girl's house, and she's got a little dog, and like she's in the other room doing something, right? And then he's playing with the dog, and she comes back. She comes back, and he's like, "Hey, nice dog. It's got a real ugly face, though." And she's all, "That's his ass." And he's like, "Well, he's not gonna like the treat I just fed him, then."
Have you guys seen the Dracula movie he did?
Oh, that's the best ever.
Dracula Dead and Living It? Fuck that movie. I hate it.
Fucking love that movie. Ooh, it's so awesome. Naked Gun, Dracula.
Holy crap. I was trying to find that Styx track on your feed, and I just found this Creepshow film analysis video that I'm now going to watch later.
Speaking of Leslie Nielsen, before he died, he was going to do Naked Gun 4 before he died.
Oh, that would have been good.
Oh,
it's called Castle Walls, if you want to know. It Styx Castle Walls.
Castle Walls, thank you.
And it's synthesizer. Yeah, it's synthesizer.
It is synth. Yeah, it's very synthy. It sounds very similar to the theme from Halloween 2, because Halloween 2 is way more synthy than the original Halloween.
Yeah. What do you think is creepier, the synthesizer or the piano?
Piano for me, but I like both. I do like both, but I'm gonna go with piano because there's something about the organic nature of the sound.
I do love me some synth.
I also like the song "Mr. Sandman." I mean, I like it.
I listen to a lot of synthwave. I've got a real hard on.
I like some synth too. Trust me, I listen to it.
Do you like Rush?
It's so awesome.
Rush is pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, Rush is having their last tour, I believe. Yep.
Yeah, I believe that one would stop.
You know, Rush, they had really good lyrics. It's like really intelligent.
How many last tours has Judas Priest and Iron Maiden and Black Sabbath all gone on? I'll believe it when they actually stop touring, all right?
That's what I was saying the other night, yeah, because I was talking about how Ozzy did the No More Tours tour in like '92.
I know, right? 20 years later, he's still fucking touring. He did take some time off, though, to be fair. He took like a decade off.
Pink Floyd's not continuing, but the members from it, they're still having shows, which I saw The Wall. It was a nice show.
Cool.
It's a good movie, too. Have you seen it, Brandon? The Wall?
Nope. I'm not a fan of Pink Floyd or Led Zeppelin. I'm a bad person. Black Sabbath is... And everything after Black Sabbath. And Black Sabbath created every interesting guitar riff ever known to man.
Everett says his modem's fucking up, and April says her computer crashed, and Marcy says she's got to wait.
Oh, yeah. I figured that she might have a problem with it.
And we've been going for a while. We can go on as long as we fucking want.
As long as you want. This is your show still.
As long as we want.
I bet you guys are not watching the Scream show anymore.
No, I didn't bother to watch it at all.
I watched the first 3 because I said I would comment on it, and then that's what I did, and I stopped because I don't know. I'm not a part of that particular MTV generation. MTV
No.
was a totally different thing when I was their age.
When I was their age,
Van
I actually
Halen.
had music most of the time. Just saying.
MTV was the rebel station that was inspiring in the fact that they just did whatever they wanted.
You know what happened? You know what happened? The real world.
The real world.
Real
yes.
world happened.
Yep.
That whole revolution in television happened. And
That's what changed
every
everything.
channel. Every channel has 10 reality shows. Every channel. Every last one of them.
I know
If
it.
they're cheap to produce, they make money. People
It's-
watch
MTV really fell apart when you had stuff like Teen Mom. Ugh.
When they went back to mining their old shit of Rules versus Real World Challenge, and they're mining their old show from 15 years prior, that was really that was before Teen Mom, by the way. That was really the first signs of the crumble and crack.
We'll put it fucking very blunt. MTV sold out, straight up.
And honestly, if I had started that and someone waved that check in my face, I'd be like, "That's a lot of zeros. You can have it. I'm gonna go retire and have fun for the rest of my life."
That's what's sad. That's what becomes of everything. And
Yeah.
the same thing. Okay, first of all, MTV has
Everything dies
numerous channels. Not even just it was one channel for a long time, and then they made MTV2 when MTV started playing too many reality shows. So they're like, here's
MTV
MTV2 for everybody that wants to watch music. And then what happened to MTV2 came the same shit.
That was reruns of the reality shows. That's what happened to MTV2. Road Rules and Real World. That's what happened to MTV2.
I can't believe they still have the same name, Music Television. It's not even music.
No, I think a long time ago they rebranded as Modern Television.
They removed the music television aspect from their logo.
Yeah.
Now it literally just says MTV. It used to say MTV Music Television. They removed the music aspect.
When did they do that? Like early 2000s, probably.
No, it was literally only in the past few years. I remember even seeing a thing about it. They're like they made a big deal. Oh, we're finally gonna remove it because we ain't music television anymore.
So my friend is watching, so I gotta say, haha, Justin. I'm sorry I don't like Pink Floyd or Led Zeppelin. He's making angry faces at me because I don't like.
I like both.
Yeah,
But
fine.
I'm a bigger fan of Led Zeppelin than Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd's fine, but it's just such depressing music.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's like go back and it's like I go from Jimi Hendrix to Black Sabbath and there's nothing in between. I'm sorry.
You know, Rush. Originally, Rush was inspired by Led Zeppelin. Like, Geddy Lee really wanted to sing.
I
Like
can hear
it's
that.
Led
I was
Zeppelin.
listening to some Rush the other night while walking around.
I like Rush. I like Styx.
Yeah.
I like all these interesting rock, progressive rock
voice
bands
to
that kind of
call
came out of
it.
the 70s and 80s. You know.
Mhm.
I'm such a huge music fan that it's not even right that I
one of my favorite-
run a movie channel.
One of my favorite bands is a progressive rock band. It's Proto Man. I don't know if you guys are familiar with either.
Sounds familiar. I've heard that.
They had these 2 rock operas about Mega Man, but it's their own storyline, and it's about this dystopian future. It's amazing. It's so good. It's mind-blowingly good. I'm like, wow. And it's totally 80s influence, and it's wonderful. It's really great stuff. And they're about to drop their 3rd and final volume of that saga.
That's what I like about progressive rock so much is how creative it is.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And how original.
That power metal's like that for that is very creative like that too. It takes from progressive rock and the same origins that all that stuff.
I mean,
Yeah.
think about this. I love classic rock, but when you compare Van Halen to AC/DC, it's lyric-wise, it's basically the same. Lyric-wise. But when you have something like Rush and Pink Floyd, it's Totally original bands. You know
I
what
like
I mean?
the best of AC/DC. I'm not a huge fan of their other songs, so I don't consider myself a fan of AC/DC. But I like a bunch of their. I like the
I
greatest
am
hits.
a diehard AC/DC fan.
Awesome.
Pretty much every
great.
single band that gets mentioned, I can back up.
Awesome, dude.
There's
I think
very rarely a band that I don't like. Some of the few popular ones is like Guns N' Roses, where I don't get it. I know it's popular. People like Guns N' Roses. But pretty much I'll side with almost anything you could say right now. So you could tell me some names of some shit, I'll look it up that I've never listened to.
I will say that I also like the greatest hits of Guns N' Roses. And Use Your Illusion 1 and 2, because let's just be honest, those are fucking great albums.
In fact, I'm gonna remind myself about 3 Mile Island because
3 Mile Pilot. 3 Mile Pilot. I was gonna ask if you've listened to it yet.
No, I haven't.
One band that is
Pilot. I can't get
definitely
that right
underrated
because
is the Runaways.
I love the Runaways so much.
Oh yeah.
It's not even legal how much I love those underage girls.
Oh my god. The Runaways are awesome, man.
No, what Eric's gonna do is he's gonna put a quote under their album, "Day Hot." Eric Harrison. That's what they're gonna do.
Day Hot. Wow.
Yeah, that's what he's gonna do.
Those ladies can rock harder than I can. That's for damn sure.
You know, and considering everything was against them, even their own fucking manager, so it's amazing that they delivered such good music.
Do you see the Runaways movie?
Yeah, that's kind of. I mean, I was already getting into them, and then I watched the movie, and that helped me get into them even more.
Ditto. I really liked the movie, and I liked the songs I had heard there, but I was like, all right, let's get into this, you know.
I should check out that movie. Maybe I'll like it.
That's Kristen Stewart. This is why I believe in her.
That is the fucking rare example. That's the only movie I've ever seen her in where I thought she did okay.
This is what I've been saying since after Twilight. I saw
I feel like she does a pretty good Joan Jett.
When I watched Twilight, because I don't shit on the film unless I've seen it. All right, it's my rule. When I watched Twilight, I said, all right, this movie sucks, but she has potential. She showed potential in The Road. On The Road, excuse me, and on Runaways, and that tells me that she just needs a good director and a good script.
Yeah, that's
she can
true.
act, but she needs to be challenged to act.
Yeah, that's like how I gave Rooney Mara or whatever her name is shit for the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. Everybody says she's a great actress, and I believe them. I'm sure she is, but
Girl, the dragon tattoo. Oh my god.
The movie just didn't. You could tell nobody involved was interested in what they were doing. I don't know how any of them found them. There was a paycheck, I guess.
When a director shows up and doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, that kind of makes, you know.
Yeah, that was his one and only movie he ever directed, isn't it?
This is why you vet your music video directors, because not everyone's gonna be Michel Gondry or David Fincher. All right, you gotta vet them and try them out with some short films, man. So you can actually direct. That's the point. That's the thing is Hollywood hires these people. Hollywood hires these people, right, without vetting them. They used to just make short films, and that's how you got hired. Oh, you know, you wrote a script, you had a short film to show. You're like, look, I can direct. Let's do some business, right? But no. Oh, I've done some music videos. Well, whoop-de-fucking-do.
Give him a movie. Give that guy a movie.
If he can make a movie in 15 minutes, he can make a movie, and it's compelling and interesting, and he can make a movie in an hour and a half. That's it. That's the rule of thumb. You can't make it if you can't do a simple story right, you can't do a complex story right. You know?
Well, speaking of writers, you know Alan McElroy? Any of you guys?
Not by name.
Okay, he was the writer. He was the writer of Halloween 4, and he said he would do another Halloween movie. Do you think if we would make another one, he should do it? He did a good job with Halloween 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I like 4 because it didn't try to be too much.
You should write a script like everyone else and submit it, and if the script is the best one, then it's the best one, right?
Mustafa Cod, he's like, oh, Halloween 4 has to be the best script of the sequels.
Rest in peace, Mustafa Cod.
Yeah.
We're losing all of our heroes.
Well, Mustafa Cod directed 2 movies, by the way. The Message, which was about the birth of the Muslim faith.
Mm-hmm.
A very, very good movie. And they also did what's the name of the other movie? The Message, the Lion of the Desert, which was about the Syrian uprising against the invading Italian forces using. It was right before World War II, and the Italians got gear from the Nazis, so they were testing out the Nazi World War II gear before World War II in the Syrian desert, fighting these guys and horses and losing, which is then echoed in the last stand of the Polish cavalry, and there were 300 tanks and 300 men. It was 300 men versus 1,000. It was 1,000 to 1 or some ratio, and guys on horseback repelled an entire thing, a whole group of tanks, whole company of tanks. 100 dudes on 300 dudes on horseback. But no, anyway, so that movie is the movie that Mustafa Akkad also directed. And he wanted to do more, but he never really got any financing.
Yeah, because what happened is Mustafa Akkad, I think him and his daughter died in a terrorist accident.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then his son, right, Melek Akkad, then took the Halloween series.
Right.
And here's the thing. Remember H2O? Jamie Lee Curtis wanted to end it by chopping off his head, but the people were like, "Oh, Jamie, there's a clause in the contract with Mustafa Akkad that says you can't kill him." Yeah. And it was Kevin Williamson. It was his
What they should
idea.
have done though was killed him, and then if they needed to continue, then they could do the remakes.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, that fucking Resurrection movie is such an insult in every fucking way. They made a joke out of everything that the original stood for.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
Problem.
It's bullshit. It's what it
It's
is.
literally a pile of shit.
It's a steaming, stinking pile of
I
dog
can't
shit
even
of a fucking
believe
Halloween
that I
movie.
hate it as much as I do. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I should have killed and moved on by now, but I'm still like, no.
Angry.
It's
Psychic
BS.
scars, man.
You know what? And I think the movie is crap, but I think the biggest insult is that they teased us that they had ended the franchise the right way. They teased us that they gave us the most epic ending ever, and then they were like, psych!
And it wasn't even that good of a film.
And, like, here's what's bullshit. Like, in H2O, you think at the end when they put him in the paramedic, oh, there's going to be a sequel, but she takes him out, she chops off his head, you're like, oh. But then you watch Resurrection to end, and his eyes open. You're like, oh, figures. You know what I mean?
Just a disappointment all around.
Indeed. I want to erase that movie from my mind.
How did you feel, Eric? Because, like, it took 4 years for them to take Resurrection. How did you feel for 4 years thinking he was dead? How did you feel about it?
I was so proud. I was so proud. I was like, what a way to go out. I was like, these guys got balls. They ended their shit. They fucking killed the cash cow, and I was happy about that.
You had a Halloween orgasm, and
I mean,
yeah.
you knew they would do another movie, and but you would hope it'd be something new and not a sequel.
Well, this was before I understood that aspect. I really thought they had ended. I really did think that it was done. This is before the whole remake trend really
Becoming
took
big.
off.
Yeah.
So now it's just expected. But back then, and I've mentioned this numerous times, like between part 5 and part 6, so much time went by that I really just thought it was done. I thought it was, even though it ended on a cliffhanger, I still, after that long, I was like, I guess they're done. Then they released part 6. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool, that's fine.
And the thing about part 7, I mean, Halloween, H2O, I love it. And you got to give Jamie Lee Curtis credit for her Oscar performance in that movie. Look how she takes out Michael.
Oh, God. Her Oscar performance. Oh, my God.
Oh, come on. It was good.
No.
I give her credit for just even coming back to reprise the role.
Showing up, yeah.
And I did give the movie credit for ending something, even if it was one of my most beloved things. I guess I really thought that was it. I really did, and I was so proud. I was like, all these other franchises don't have the balls to end their franchise, and Halloween did it. I was like, hell yeah. On the right note, and then Resurrection. Then I saw the poster for Resurrection, like, coming soon. It was at the local cinema. I was like, they're making more? I thought he was dead.
That's how I felt with Alien 4. I'm like, they're making more? Why?
Yeah, right? Yes, exactly. That's another good point.
I thought Laurie was just going to be in, like, the whole film in Resurrection. I thought it was just going to be, like, another, like, standoff for the whole movie. That's what I thought.
No, that would have
better
cost
than what
too
we
much.
got.
That would have cost too much.
Michael versus Busta Rhymes.
Yeah.
So how about those Runaways, guys?
Cherry bomb.
What about that Dakota Fanning in lingerie? That was weird.
She grew up into a very beautiful woman. She's 100% legal for you to gawk at, so don't worry about it.
You know what the weird thing is when you look back at you watch some of those old Runaways videos, like they were underage.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
kind of weird. fucking 16-year-old girls like out-rocked so many dudes back then. That's weird.
Yeah.
Nothing but respect.
Yeah, absolutely. Badasses, man. Through and through.
Underrated.
Yeah, let's see what else. What else? Anybody see Trick or Treat?
Trick.
The 80s movie? The 80s version?
Is that that's a rock movie, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah,
there's Trick or Treat, Tricks or Treats, or Trick or Treats with an S.
Yeah, there's different ones.
And then there is Trick or Treat, which is the really awesome one that came out not too long ago. But I've not seen any of the other two. But the Trick or Treats, not the Trick or Treat, the one you're thinking of, the Trick or Treats one got released from Code Red on ScreenArchivesentertainment.com.
Yeah, there's so many. The one I was referring to is the one with
Right.
Sammy Kerr.
So that's Ozzy Osbourne and
And Gene Simmons is in it for
Gene
yeah.
Simmons.
Ozzy and Gene are in it for about 5 minutes each, maybe.
Yeah, but they're on all the bootleg DVD covers you see. That's a selling
Yeah,
point.
yeah, of course. So you think that they're the stars of the movie? They're
But
not.
because
But I
it's a
still
bootleg,
like it.
I've never seen it. You know.
I like it. Could have used more rock, but I do enjoy it. I really do enjoy it a
If
lot.
you want rock and horror mixed, watch Black Roses and Rock and Roll Nightmare. Those two movies right there.
Oh, okay.
Watch Rock and Roll Nightmare first, followed by Black Roses. Black Roses is a spiritual sequel. There's also a actual sequel to Rock and Roll Nightmare called Intercessor, another Rock and Roll Nightmare, but it's a pile of shit. You should avoid that one. Unless you find the DVD for $5, because it's got a commentary by Joe Bob Briggs, and that's pretty cool.
Rock and Roll Nightmare is worth checking out.
Rock and Roll Nightmare is a bad movie, but in the right way, and so is Black Roses. They're both so good. They're so bad they're good. You know.
I've never heard of Black Roses, but I'm
Another
very
good
familiar
movie
with-
where rock and horror mix well as Jason Lives. They make, Alice Cooper.
Another one, Hard Rock Zombies. That one's hilarious. I love that fucking movie.
Hard Rock Zombies.
There's
Is
one
that?
zombie who eats himself. It's hilarious. It's a fucking spoof. It's great. This rock and roll band gets murdered and comes back as zombies and brings the zombie apocalypse with them. And they don't walk like zombies. They march like they're like dance march, like moshing. Everyone mosh walks. It's fucking hilarious. Oh my god.
Right.
I want an official release of that so bad. You can find that on YouTube.
Is it Rock and Roll or Rock and Roll? Is
Hard
it
Rock
and?
Zombies. Hard Rock Zombies.
Oh, Hard Rock.
Yeah.
Hard Rock
Zombies.
Everything has been zombified, hasn't it? At this
Yeah,
point.
that movie's from like the 80s. So it's long before it became really like a fashionable thing. There was zombies were fashionable, but not like they are now. You know.
They first came out in the 60s, I believe, with Night of the Living Dead. I could be wrong. Maybe it was earlier than that.
68, Night of the Living Dead was the first time they were undead, like recently deceased people. Before the zombies were voodoo zombies. So.
60s, 70s, they had some fresh horror. Like 60s you had Psycho, Night of the Living Dead. 70s you had The Exorcist, Halloween, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Black Christmas. Some fresh ideas were going on.
I liked that period when it was becoming less like gothic, more kind of fucking brutal, realistic stuff. That was the birth of the slasher, which is still my favorite genre.
And whenever someone says, well, like they go like, why are all these movies so much more dark? It's only a few years difference, and the difference is the Vietnam War. And if you watch the documentary American Nightmare, which is also on YouTube,
yep,
it elucidates. Is that the right word I'm looking for? It reveals quite a bit of information about like the social economic happenings that inspired these movies.
Well, that always
Great
has.
docs. One of my favorite docs,
play.
actually.
Return of the Living Dead's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love that movie too. Getting a Scream Factory release later this year, maybe early next year.
It has like the same dude from Jason Lives. I don't know his name. He played Tommy in Part 6. You guys know his name?
Tom Matthews was in Tom Matthews. Yeah, he was in Jason Lives, and so was Return of the Living. Yeah, somebody pointed this out to me the other day. I already knew some of these things. Tom Matthews was in Return of the Living Dead and Jason Lives, and then what's his name? God darn it, Miguel Nunez was in, and Friday 5, and then so was the the axe murderer from Part 5 was like one of the punk rockers in Part Return of the Living Dead. I know I'm not making a lot of sense.
Return of the Living Dead 2 is also another one of my favorites. The sequel is essentially a remake of the first, just like Evil Dead 2 is a remake of the first. It's essentially, I say, because if you watch Return of the Living Dead 2, it's essentially the same fucking plot that happens.
Yeah, because it's like an Evil
Replacing
Dead
punk
2.
kids with a kid running around a hospital, and it's the same fucking movie.
Yeah, Evil Dead 2 is definitely a reboot because why would we go into the same cabin? Why would he have another girlfriend named Linda? It's totally a remake.
Absolutely. So
I even have
Return of the
I even
Living
have
Dead
some
2
extras in
is a little more sly about its remakeness, at least.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was wanting to watch that the other day, and I couldn't find the copy of it on YouTube. It's still there, but it's kind of harder to find. You have to type the fucking title in exactly or
No.
something.
So you did find it. You did or you didn't find it?
Hmm?
You did find
No,
it, you
I
said?
mean, it was both I did and I didn't. Because when I searched for it a certain way, I didn't find it, but then I somehow stumbled on it. Like, I didn't find it by searching the title, but then I was looking up something else, and it popped up in the what do they call that section on the side?
Yeah.
They're like, hey, check out this shit.
Yeah, as I say, I'm getting like 4 more boxes from storage. I could have hooked you up, but I just got to get them first. But if you found it, good.
Have you guys seen the colored version of Night of the Living Dead?
Only with
Yeah.
Mike Nelson commentary,
I like the black and white version better.
of course.
I prefer black and white. I've seen the color. You know, they did fine with the colorization,
Right.
but the movie, I don't know.
It looks like a human cartoon because it's not natural, you know.
Something really off-putting about the black and white.
Because at the time, you know, TV was in black and white, so it felt more like a documentary. Because films were
That's a
in
good
color
movie.
at that point, you know.
Yeah, I know they were, and they didn't film color because they couldn't afford it. Same with Clerks.
Well, they could have afforded for Clerks, but I guess they got more film because they went black and white, so it allowed them to do more stuff. I think that's why they did that, right? I know it was cheaper, but they had what, $2,000? That was their budget or something like
What a
$20,000?
weird. I mean, first of all, with the Return of the Living Dead, that's one thing. It's a horror movie, and you still weren't that far into the color. You know, not technically that far into the colorization of stuff, but to make like a comedy in the beginning of the '90s and be like, well, yeah, we're gonna do it black and white. Fuck it.
Ah, man. Can't believe that Wes Craven just died. Like, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
I was thinking about him a lot today with all the Elm Street movies.
Damn.
I'm pissed off. Actually, I feel pissed off.
It's unfair, man.
I'll be pretty
That was
sad when
how,
John Carpenter dies.
We got crooked fucking politicians in office older than him, and they're still alive. That's bullshit.
Imperfect world, man.
I'm just it's just the fact that how I found out pisses me off.
Yeah.
I went to go and do something, and I came back. Like, it took me minutes. And in a 15-minute span, I went from Wes Craven was still alive and well to, oh, now he's gone, and you'll never get him back.
Yeah. God.
No, it's not even
I
cool.
think-
I'm
I think he was
definitely going to put on a Nightmare. Yeah, I'm going to put on a Nightmare, I think, tonight.
Me and Marcy are gonna watch New Nightmare. Join us
Oh, wait, like tonight or like what?
tonight. Yeah, later.
I can try.
Assuming
She
you're
hasn't
still
responded
awake.
back to me on my thing. She says she's still waiting.
We talked in the group chat though. You
Oh, the group thing.
can actually,
Let me go open that up. Here it is. Oh, I see. No, yeah, okay. So are you guys just gonna watch? Are you doing like a commentary?
I think we're just gonna watch it. I don't think we're
Just
gonna be live. Yeah. I don't want to be live. I just want to hang out and watch a movie.
Right.
But yeah.
I feel you, dude.
My copy's in storage, so I'm gonna rent it.
So like I said, this is to a lot of people it's a big blow to them. To a lot of people it's just Wes Craven, but to me I lost 2 people today that I really cared for, and so that sucks. 2 people in one fucking day.
Yeah. God,
Um,
I'm gonna dread the day Carpenter dies. I'm gonna cry so hard.
I know, yeah. That's why Daniel just mentioned. I kind of was like, no, I don't want to think about it. I don't even
Yeah,
want to think
no.
about it.
And same with Romero, man. Those 2 guys have been so. I've watched every single movie both those people have done, and I've written papers on those. I've examined their films extensively, and the next one I was working on is Tobe Hooper. That motherfucker better stay alive too. I start to get some of Tobe Hooper's more obscure titles, and so I'm gonna actually sit down and watch them all.
Wait, was Tobe Hooper the guy behind Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Yep, and the
Yeah.
sequel, and Funhouse.
Did you like the sequel?
And Eaten Alive. I love the sequel. I think it was better than the first. Poltergeist halfway. Yeah, he did half of Poltergeist. Seems
I like that.
Burt was the second unit director, so he did parts of the dialogue and other things, reaction shots. He did work on part of that movie, so there is Spielberg in it.
Yeah, of course there is. That's kind of always been a controversy there.
But there's solidly Hooper there. There's all sorts of his stylistic choices.
He gets credit. He gets billed as director though, doesn't he?
Because he did more work. Second unit director doesn't become a director. They're second unit. No matter how much they shoot, they're never going to be the director of the movie. Because the director has final say no matter what that person writes or cuts. I assume that then after he says, oh good, you did a good job, Toby. If you didn't like it, you could edit because it's Spielberg. But I mean, it's neither here nor there. I like all those guys, man. I don't know.
There's a cult following for Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
I love number 2.
Oh, I should know.
My copy signed. I imported it from the UK and then got it signed.
I'm not a fan of part 2, and I wish I was. I wish I got the humor. I wish I got it, and I do not.
It's a scathing critique of the society that he was living in at the time. So it's it's funny. My thesis is on these 2 movies in particular because of their particular commentary on the social economic situation at the time.
They Live is pretty genius.
Fucking great.
I don't for whatever reason I don't get TCM2, and I really wish I did, because there's he's right. It's got a big fan base, and I feel like I'm missing something, but
You totally are missing something. I can guarantee it. But that's okay. You don't have to get it. It's cool. There's plenty of things you do. It's not like you're a bad person or lesser because of it. It's not a big deal. There's plenty of movies I don't fucking get.
Doesn't Dennis Hopper fight Leatherface with a chainsaw?
Yes!
Doesn't that happen? Yeah, it does.
Hilarious. Oh, I love it.
yeah.
Meanwhile, he's
Dennis
shouting
Hopper
off
is a
about
psycho in that
Reaganism.
movie.
And it's funny. He's going off about how it's ruining the fucking economy. And oh my god, it's fucking great.
Dude.
That's the difference between a character who's conservative and a character who's liberal. Roddy Piper in They Live's liberal, and Dennis Hopper in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 is a conservative. Landowner, conservative white landowner too. Mad that the immigrant is taking the work. I'm not even kidding you. This is in the movie. It's
I can see that.
beautiful.
I'm scrolling through my Facebook, and every single post
Yeah.
is about one thing.
And then I'm gonna pull this into it too, Day of the Dead, because it came out around the same time. Talked about different aspects than the other 2. So I don't know. That's a someday project.
I did not like that last Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie at all. That last one from 2013.
Yeah.
The big,
you liked it?
The 3D.
Texas Chainsaw 3D. I really liked it. Of course. Look, when I grew up with Monster Vision on TNT, USA Up All Night, Mystery Science Theater, Mad Movies with the LA Connection, a whole bunch of other these shows that watched and loved bad movies. So I can find the joy in nearly anything, sir. So when I don't like something, that means it's really bad. I have the nickname Curator of Crap for a reason. You know?
there's many movies that are bad that I like. I like Troll 2. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I mean, goofy.
here's some exceptionally bad films that I own. One of which was Signed. So, I mean, like bad movies. Like this one's truly bad.
I
Shit.
think some bad movies have an endearing quality, and I didn't see that in Texas Chainsaw 3D.
I
I
don't know.
like the remake though. I think once the remake is one of the rare ones that did the formula right.
I really like the remake also. I felt when I watch Texas Chainsaw 3D, I don't see a sequel. I just see this really awesome grindhouse flick. It's total exploitation cheese, and it's just having fun with a concept. I think it's a great sequel because it takes concepts explored in the first movie and takes it in a completely different direction. It's not nearly as deep and doesn't have the subtext, and it's not as good, and it will never be as good as the original or the first sequel. Or it's about on par for me with the Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3.
I mean, just like Friday the 13th, it's not supposed to be super deep. I get that about Texas Chainsaw. It's not supposed to be deep.
No. That's actually no. The first two movies actually do have really deep subtext, but the other sequels don't. And that's the thing about this exploitation film is it doesn't have any deepness to it. The 3D, right?
Are you a fan of Part 4?
I love Part 4.
I love it too. I think what's his name, Matthew McConaughey.
We're
does a
the
really
only
good
three
job.
fans of Part 4 right here.
Oh my God, we got to do a commentary of it one day then.
We should. Yeah, we should. We're the only ones that like
You know,
it.
Matthew McConaughey. Matthew McConaughey, he's pretty cool. He was in Dazed and
Off the chain in
Confused,
that
Texas
movie,
Chainsaw
dude.
Massacre.
I love
Dave
it.
Helliger.
That is chewing the scenery and spitting it out and then picking it back up and chewing it again.
And I love it because people like hate it because they're like, oh, it's so weird. It's got like this leg thing with the remote control. Like, but that's the part of the charm is it's this weird family, and they're taking instead of it being like in the 70s, it's all about the oil barons and like the conspiracy, blah blah. Blah. It's this new generation. It's the 90s. It's the 90s version of it, you know. So instead of bones and shit of people, it's got bones for society. It's a place filled with junk. Old electronics, discarded things. It's not about the bones of our society of the people. It's about the bones of the shit we have. It's a completely different subtext to it.
There is like a true story, right? Like this Leatherface guy in real life wanted to be a woman.
No. It's all just mildly inspired by the Ed Gein.
Yeah, that was Toby Hooper. He threw that on the beginning of his fucking movie, and it's been a kind of a problem ever since.
Yeah.
But it loosely inspired by Ed Gein and
Very loosely.
Yeah, pretty loosely. Like this, I guess that was
He
one
wore
of
a
the
skin
first,
mask once, maybe they think.
maybe one of the first instances of the loose using of based on a true story.
The most baseless claim for there's no way Texas Chainsaw Massacre is not even remote. Doesn't appear to be remotely related to anything that ever happened anywhere ever. Like it's the most bizarre.
So that was kind of like bullshit. It was just bullshit.
Yeah, it's
up.
marketing. It's marketing, man.
Yeah.
In the 70s, that shit was much more acceptable.
I believe Part 3 was a reboot. I believe.
Part 3? Oh, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Texas.
Part 3's got an amazing soundtrack. It's one of my favorite soundtracks to any movie. Compilation soundtrack. It's got an amazing collection of late 80s punk and metal, and it's so good.
It was funny because the first movie was banned for a while.
Yeah.
Because of how shocking. And you know what? That's what I like. I like when movies, when they are banned because of how shocking they are. I like that. Usually, if it's actually as shocking.
You know, they said that about Showgirls, too, but have you seen that one yet? You're 18, right?
I'm 19.
Good enough. All right. You should watch Showgirls. There's an incredibly bad movie for you that also was banned in some places because it's way too hardcore.
It's horror?
No.
The original.
Oh,
no,
okay.
Sorry, I'm getting us
It's
back.
horrible,
It's,
but it's not horror. The horror show,
All right.
yes.
It's like, did you ever watch Skinamax back in the day?
Yeah. Big budget Skinamax, yeah.
It's a
No,
Skinamax
not even back
original.
today. Skinamax still does that. Okay, that hasn't changed. There's still the soft porn channel after 9 p.m., dude.
You know what? You know what was fucking scary about Texas Chainsaw, the original?
What?
It's not what you saw because there wasn't a whole lot of it.
Not really, no.
It was just the fact that the energy was chaotic and it looked almost like a snuff film the way it was filmed, and the fact that the cast was actually suffering and you can see it in their performance.
Well, the fact that you don't see anyone else really die on screen, hold on, means that when you see the person go up on that meat hook, it's way more effective because you haven't really seen up close any violence. When you see Leatherface hits the guy at the very first guy with a hammer, he's far away. He's not up close. So this is the first time you get up close violence, and it's shocking because of that.
You see no blood in the movie, right?
No blood. I mean, but it's not a lot. It's very sparing.
It is, and people.
The thing about that movie,
it was what was in people's minds while they were watching. It's how they filled in the gaps with their own minds is what scared them. That's
and
how
the thing is about that movie, just the way that setting was. It was hot. So it's like that. It was really hot in Texas, and you have some crazy dude with a chainsaw running after you. The way that reflects on screen it's good directing.
So Daniel, future reference. When you start talking, if you think someone's talking, don't. Just keep going. You've already started talking. If someone else starts talking, it's too late. You've already started talking. Because you can't just keep stopping. Otherwise, everyone keeps stopping back and forth until someone gives in. Just go for it. Just keep grab the bull and just start fucking it and just go.
So
ride
no pauses.
That bull.
No pauses.
Well, let other people talk. But I'm just saying, like, when you start talking and, like, one of us starts to go, it's because we didn't hear you start talking. There's a slight delay, right? So you just have to go for it. You have to go for it. Trust it.
So just keep going. Don't pause.
No, I didn't say that. But don't stop when... You need to stop talking at some point. But don't pause when you start talking. Don't pause when you start talking and then you hear us start to say something because we're going to stop. Because by the time we say something, we're already hearing you.
I think we're a little bit more experienced with this than he is, so he'll get the hang of it.
I'm giving him advice. I'm sorry if I sound like an asshole. I'm actually just trying to
You fucking bastard.
No, it's all good.
I tend to come off really abrasive. I'm not
Everybody
trying
take a drink every time I call somebody a bastard.
Yeah, well, the next time around when I come on here, things will be better. I'll be more used to it. I'll be more experienced.
You'll have your beverage in a container that doesn't suggest any kind of illegal usage. That's right. That's right, you will.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I got distracted by Marcy.
Oh, I see. I know. I see it's coming through here. I gotta go take a bathroom break, so I'll be right back.
All right. Okay, Daniel. Now, I know this is going to be the hardest question anyone's ever asked you as a film buff, all right? Five favorite movies. It doesn't have to be your top five, just 5 favorite movies you can think of right now. 5 of them. Go.
Okay. All right. Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, Friday 13th. Bam.
Jesus, that's so cliche.
But it's
fine. It's fine.
But it's the way it is. I can't help it. I love those movies so dearly.
That's awesome. And my thing is, here's my philosophy. No guilty pleasures, and every movie's got a fan, so try to understand that. Like, you may not be for you, That's my philosophies of film. And I always try to give a movie a chance, and I always finish a movie. You never give a review of a movie you haven't fucking finished. If you fell asleep and you tell me you didn't finish it and you tell me it sucks, you can go fuck yourself. I'll tell you. I say that for all the reviewers. But what I said before that. Before I went off on a tangent.
Because there's movies out there that are great. Like Scream, I like it a lot, right? Mm-hmm. But it's not like my favorite movies.
Like my favorite movie of all time is Jaws. I can tell you that. I'm going to be 33 in 6 days. I can tell you right now, for all my life, Jaws has been the best movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
Steven Spielberg made that movie. He made that movie.
Absolutely. So it'd be Jaws, Take This Waltz, Life is Beautiful, shit.
Back and stuff. Just
Breathless and Videodrome. Those are my 5 right there. In fact, fun trivia, Videodrome and Breathless was my first 2 DVDs on Criterion Collection and my first 2 Blu-rays on Criterion. A horror movie and a French New Wave film. That just kind of shows the crazy duality in my brain.
By the way, I saw in like the previous things, like in Resurrection commentary, where you noted you liked Leprechaun 4. Right?
I love Leprechaun 4. Yes, it's so cheesy.
It's entertaining.
It's
It's
not good,
entertaining.
but it's hilarious.
It's
so
funny.
bad it's good. That's how I look at
Like
it.
when Leprechaun looks in his pants, he's like, "I'm big." It's like, it's just goofy.
It's so bad, but it's so funny bad.
Weren't
It's
those?
totally
Yeah,
bad.
wasn't that straight off the bat? Weren't they all funny bad? Like,
No, the first two weren't.
come on, you telling me Leprechaun? They get worse? Is that what you're telling me? Because
No. See, the first two were earnest attempts to make horror movies. 3, they're like, that's not really working. And from there on, it just goes off the rails, increasingly as they go.
Once they went to the Hood, it got really.
The Hood is the last good one, and I use the word good very lightly here.
Now back to the Hood. What about that one?
No.
That's just too. It's just lame.
I've not even seen very many Leprechaun movies. I watched the original back in the day, and it was just kind of, even as a kid, I was like, this is a little too goofy for me.
What'd you think of the Leprechaun Origins, Brandon?
Haven't seen it yet. I haven't. I need to have time to sit and watch it, and then also watch something to cleanse my palate from that pile of shit that I know it's going to be. So,
Would you smoke weed with Leprechaun? I would.
I smoke weed about 4 times a day. I'm in chronic pain, so it's my pain management. So yeah, sure, why not? Yeah. If you're in Washington, come on down, bro. Smoke you out. Let's do this.
I'm in
Well,
Washington.
the Sharknado.
Fuck Sharknado. Here's the
I don't
okay.
like
Okay. Hold on. I got this. Sharknado is a bad movie for people who think that. What is the movie I'm thinking of? No. Who think those shitty comedies that Adam Sandler makes is comedy? All right, that's Sharknado. Sharknado is the bad movie for people who think Adam Sandler is comedy. Period.
You know, I'm not a big fan of Adam Sandler. I'm really not.
Well, but my point being is,
you know what? At your age, it can't be blamed because you've just seen.
all the bad.
First of all, Adam Sandler is no genius, but what you've probably witnessed is just the worst of the worst. Oh, we got another person that joined us.
Nemoris
Jagger.
Inferioris.
Well, when I was young, I
that
used to
wrong,
watch
probably.
Happy Gilmore, which I didn't mind. But then I watched the new ones, and I was like, ugh.
Yeah,
But,
Well,
I
like
mean-
Click is okay. Click is decent. Funny People, Punch Drunk Love. Those were like his only really good movies in the last
might
decade.
be- Spanglish and like Funny
Spang-
People. Probably some of his. Punch Drunk Love. Yeah.
Yeah,
All of
Spanglish
this
is
stuff
okay.
where he tries to be a little bit more than just a one-note character.
When a good director puts effort into it, can get a performance out of him, he's good. Just like Jim Carrey, when there's a good director behind him, he can be good. Just like he doesn't have to be the goofball. He can actually be They can be serious dramatic actors. So.
I did find it hilarious when Bob Barker beat Adam Sandler's ass in a movie. It was funny.
I used to do it in real life, too.
Our new person, do you have your audio working or whatnot?
Oh, you heard you. You said words.
Hello?
Hi, person.
I sort of heard a hello.
My mic's on?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
sit
there we
closer
go.
to your mic.
There
Just
we
a
go.
little bit. Because you're a little bit
We're
quiet.
running late as fuck, man. We're like 4 hours into this.
It's like 3. I've been doing this for 3 hours, really?
It's been a while. Probably
Shit.
probably not as long as I am exaggerating.
I got
You
off from
started at
work.
7, right?
Oh, okay.
You guys see this?
Halloween
Halloween
Yeah.
comic book.
I know it exists.
It's pretty good. Well, it's a pretty good comic book, Halloween with Michael
Where'd
Myers.
you
There used to
get
be
that?
one with Freddy back in the day, from what I
There was
researched.
a Jason versus Leatherface comic.
I got it for my
Tops.
birthday.
Good stuff. And there was some stuff put out by Wildstorm also in the mid-2000s. Tops in the 90s,
Uh-huh.
Wildstorm in the mid-2000s. Those are your slasher comics. And now I think... Who's doing it now? That indie comic company I'm blanking on. Not Oni Press, the other one. Anyways, I'm blanking it. Yeah. Now you're now getting the third decade of horror comics, finally. Of like movie-based horror comics. Let me
Yep.
clarify.
I still can't believe they still make horror comics.
They're pretty good.
Horror is big business.
They're not
I
too
can't
shabby.
even believe that they
I
still
like
make
them better
comics,
than superhero.
but apparently it's hella popular.
Horror films had a
Yeah.
huge boom. I mean, we've got TV by the droves that's horror.
Shit, I would have some if I could afford it.
There's a show on TV right now that has gone for 11 seasons. Come this year, it's all based on horror originals.
Well, Eric,
it's kind of crazy.
don't you have the Freddy comic book?
No, I did. I did back way back in the day, but not anymore. I had one.
And it was after
It was
Freddy's
a
dead.
follow-up to Freddy's Dead.
Oh God, it's probably from Topps Comics.
Yeah.
Then. That was the 90s. So.
Yep, 90s.
As bad as Freddy's Dead is, I'd rather watch that over Dream Child. I'll tell you that right now.
Whoa, really?
It's terrible, but I'd rather watch it for Part 5.
Oh,
I'm serious.
Dude.
It's a terrible movie.
Bad.
I'm not sure if I
It's-
could pick.
It's bad. It is.
I'd rather watch 5.
I could barely watch it, but I'd rather watch it over Dream Child. Are you
Oh.
serious? Oh.
Yep.
I think that I might. You know what? That's like pick your poison. Like I don't know which one I would want to.
Which one do you want to commit suicide
How
to?
do you want to
Pick.
suffer today?
Which needle do you want to put underneath your fingernail? Pick one. Is it the rusty one or the one with
I'll put it to you. I'll put it to you this way: when the movies came out, I at least resonated more with Freddy's Dead, even if it was Looney Tunes, because Part 5, I felt so lost and like I didn't understand what the tone was supposed to be.
I felt awkward. I just felt really awkward. Part 5.
I would say
just really awkward.
Lost was the biggest thing I always felt while
I
watching
just
5.
don't watch it.
What was that?
I don't watch it at all anymore.
It
Oh,
just
really?
doesn't. I like the motorcycle scene, sort of, even though Freddy still has fucking one-liners.
Yeah. I don't like Freddy's
And
Dead, but I
here's the deal,
watch
that little
Dream
boy-
Child occasionally. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
come on, like
as
the
a-
little boy in Dream Child, I would say he does a better performance than anybody in that movie. I'll say that.
Yeah, you have a real hard opinion on the acting of that movie. I'd say that's the least of the worst. And I ain't giving the acting no praise, that's for sure. Cause
It's just a
But,
piece of shit film.
If you love it or not, you can still love something. I love plenty of pieces of shit.
I like
Like a piece of
I like it when it gets kind of a little bit touchy because everybody got different opinions about stuff.
You're like the only you're talking to the only fan of Dracula Untold. All right. So.
Isn't that recent, right?
Yeah, I got that in Steelbook too.
Hey, Drac.
What's up?
Speaking of
Hey, I'm
Dracula,
the
that's
only
John
fan of
Carpenter's
certain
favorite
movies.
villain.
I know what it's like.
Okay, I just had everyone talk at once. All right, Daniel, what did he say? So you don't have to, since you have to repeat it for a third time. Go.
Okay, speaking of Dracula, that's John Carpenter's favorite villain.
Ah,
Or what would you call him, a villain or
Yeah.
monster? I don't know. what you would
anti-hero,
call him.
depending.
Vampire.
Eric, you were saying something. There we go. We resolved all the problems. Eric.
Yes.
There's only 4 of us. We can fit 6 more people in here. Should we?
Holy shit, dude.
Can you imagine trying to have a conversation with a whole 10 people?
I have done some live shows on SNI, Saturday Night Insanity, a few times where we had like 8 people. It's atrocious. We try not to
Yeah.
get more than 5 people. 5 is like a max.
I would imagine
5
it's
you can
got to be
function.
impossible.
But after 5, the sound quality goes to so bad that it's not even worth doing.
All right, so I guess I have to set that limit. God damn.
Have you done Drunken Terry's, Brandon, or is that just an Eric thing?
Oh, I have every Monday I do a live commentary. In fact, Eric has failed to show up for every single one of those episodes.
I like that he's going to bring this up every time.
It's been like 20 episodes since he joined.
Well, it's fun.
and
It's
he
fun,
had
dude. I love it.
We're actually watching Super 8 tomorrow, which J.J. Abrams film. But we watch. We each take turns. We all get to pick movies, and we make each other watch them. And some of them are just terrible. Just terrible.
But that's a good thing. If a movie's terrible, sometimes it's best just to watch it with a friend. You know?
Bad movies are meant to be watched with a group. You can't watch it by yourself. It's got a different feel to it.
I got to get friends so that I can watch them with again.
Eric.
You know, One movie that I just like to watch by myself is Halloween. I like to watch it only by myself in the dark.
That's a good
It's
movie.
just a rule.
That's a good movie.
Yep.
Oh, it's a great movie. It's my favorite movie.
But you
One-
don't have
number
the
one
heart to say
favorite
that you sit in this dark room by yourself and watch Ghoulies 3, do you? I don't think so.
I tried it and I couldn't get through the movie.
I'll have to be there for you and keep you awake. Wake up, Eric. You're missing the best part. They're about to come out of the toilet. Oh, really? 3 movies of posters with them in toilets and they finally do it? Yeah.
They're about to act like the Three Stooges. The whole movie.
It's fucking hilarious.
Like, oh,
So
shit.
bad it's good, dude. It's so good. So
It's
bad.
no, it's so bad. It's just fucking bad.
No, you're fucking bad.
It's like Dream Child. So bad, it's just bad.
Shut up. You're bad.
No, it's
Um,
like bad,
Ghoulies
like
2 is the bomb.
Killer
Though.
Tomatoes.
Hey, don't you
That's
knock
good.
that movie. That's
I've never
airplane
seen.
quality
I've
movie.
never seen Killer Tomato. What is that movie about? Well,
It's a
tomatoes
spoof
killing.
of killer.
Killer Tomatoes.
It's
Self-explanatory.
a movie about killer tomatoes, but it's a spoof of monster movies.
It's a spoof. It's like Airplane or Naked Gun, but
There's
with
this
killers.
hilarious
Okay.
moment where they have this meeting in this room, and this one character to like climb over the table, and it's the most awkward climbing over a table ever, and it's so fucking hilarious. I die laughing.
So you had all these monster movies like Frankenstein, Wolfman, Dracula, and then they got really corny. They're like, let's just make fun of it, right? That's what
Absolutely.
Killer Tomatoes is?
And you know what? Attack of the Killer Tomatoes reminds me of, and I'm sure. I'm sorry if I've mentioned this too many times there, Brandon, but I mentioned a movie called Schlock, and I told you to find it for me.
All right, hold on. I have it. Let me just zip it real quick.
It's
and
very
upload it.
much the same vein as Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, but it's John Landis.
So Airplane is a spoof of airport films. There's like 5 airport films, and Airplane was making fun of that whole cycle of movies.
Yep.
So spoof, man. We need to
And
real spoof.
Airplane had the man Leslie Nielsen in it, and Ted Danson, I believe. Oh, I could be wrong.
Right. And
I'm
the
not
Zucker Brothers,
100%
right? When they were good, before they stopped trying and made scary movie films.
Did you see Airplane 2?
Not in a long fucking time.
Yeah, wasn't that the one with the space shuttle?
That's Spaceballs, I believe.
No.
there's
No. Yes,
Plane movie that has a space shuttle.
It's the space shuttle on the back of the plane. Yeah.
Spaceballs is the bomb, though.
Yeah. I love
Yeah,
that
it has. What's that guy's name? John Candy. He was really cool.
Fucking Candy, man, and like just to open
My name's
another
Barf.
wound.
My name's Barf. I'm half man, half dog. I'm a Mog. I'm a half man, half dog. I'm my own best friend. Sorry.
Oh gosh, yeah, Spaceballs. I remember seeing the trailer for that as a 7-year-old, and I was like, they didn't really say balls on TV. I was like, what? They didn't just say balls on TV. Are you serious?
That's great.
This is for all the kids watching. This was a time when, you didn't see tits and ass and hear the word shit on TV all the time. You didn't hear
You didn't hear people calling each other.
none
bitch.
of that.
You didn't hear any of that.
You didn't hear the word bitch. Yeah, that would have blown people's fucking minds.
Yeah.
I remember living just 8 years with no internet. I just rented VHS tapes. That's all I did.
I apparently have to. Well, that was my childhood. That's all we had back then.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, I lived a long time without internet too. It was called the 80s.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we got it in the late '90s. We were still early adopters. Wasn't until the mid.
To be honest, in some ways, it was better without internet. In some ways, it was.
In some ways.
We couldn't be having this conversation now, but it was pretty good.
I do like that I have the knowledge of all of our civilization at the finger touch. I just type in what I'm looking for, and it just tells me. That's fucking amazing. That's Star Trek level cool.
There's some aspects where you kind of look back and go, how did we survive without it? But
Yeah, right?
we did just fine.
I just remember having my cap gun, watching Evil Dead 2 on my VHS.
But yeah,
That's
they
my
don't
biggest
even
memory.
sell cap guns anymore.
Oh, yeah. Dude, it was such a different time when we grew up, man. Here comes old man story
All I hear
time.
is old.
Hey, sit back, Sonny. Let me tell you about
You made the
that
other guy
80s.
leave with all your old talk.
Back in my day,
Back in
we used
my
to have
day,
these little box that would go in a bigger box, and you would watch it.
you know what? Fuck that. I'm having old Eric time right now. Back in my day, on a school day, I'd get up, like 6 a.m., be at school almost 8, start trading some garbage kids cards with my friends,
Magic cards
and then
I'm a little bit older than you, but yeah, same concept.
get out of school, go to my empty ass house because both my parents were working and I had to
Damn
take
right.
care of myself. Fucking cooking dinner on the oven and shit at a 7-year-old by myself in the house.
Drinking
And then
beer.
on weekends it was all about grabbing that Huffy, getting on my BMX, just riding fucking trails and shit.
Jesus Christ.
Going to Circle K and
You
shop
know,
candy.
speaking of old man, Dr. Loomis is a unique old man because usually you hear him say, back in my day, but his line is, you know what day it is?
It's always Halloween in Loomis's world.
All right.
I like how pissed off he is in part 5. He just
Every day is
fucking tired of
Halloween.
it.
No, the climax is that there is no Michael Myers. It's all in Loomis's head.
I do have it right here. Open Destiny
That's
folder.
interesting theory. I like that.
Make a zip folder. Zip
Is that
file.
why he's so angry and nobody listens to him? Nobody listens to him because Michael Myers doesn't exist.
You don't
If you
understand. I spent a decade trying to tell him what true evil was, or something like that.
If you guys were Loomis, what would you guys do? Just give up, or would you guys keep trying?
Yeah, I would have let people get killed. After like the 5th try, I'd fucking let them die.
No,
Fuck 'em.
no. First, after the second try, man. Third strike, you're out, bitch. That's the end.
3rd strike. Yeah, I'll buy that. I'm there with you.
It's the same thing as
I already
destroying the Crystal Lake. They deserve it.
Yeah,
try
all
and
those
warn
kids
people about
deserve
some
to
shit.
die. It's
I am
surprising.
Loomis.
What's surprising to me is like in parts 2 and 3, there's not much surveillance at the camp. You know what I mean? Like the cops just show up once and just leave.
Or they get killed.
See, Jason's thing is he should just put private property on his stuff. That's what he's put on. It's private property. Don't trespass or you get killed.
He has the right to bear arms.
Yes, right to bear arms.
Yes. He has the right to have arms that are bear's arms as his arms.
Jason is one of the fucking few characters and one of the few franchises where I kind of don't even care about. This is the one franchise I give a pass for. Pretty much anything. Even if they disappoint me sometimes, I'm always like, well, try it again. Just fucking try it again.
Well, because the thing about Friday the 13th is it's just fun, and it's like having an episode with each movie.
And I want them to get it right. That's what I want to see it get. I want to see him get it right again before I
The
die.
whole thing of the whole franchise is about having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's like just having fast food horror.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like Sleepaway
Halloween.
Camp. It's like Sleepaway Camp.
It's like Sleepaway Camp without the penis at the end. Oh.
Yeah.
Hey!
Spoiler alert.
Jesus, man, that was a pretty brutal spoiler alert.
There's some penises in Sleepaway Camp, just so
It
you
was
know.
so good, though.
Part
It was so
2
fun.
Part 2 is okay, it's fun, and Part 3 it's pretty hated.
Oh, fucking part 3 falls apart.
Yeah, it just falls apart, man.
Part 2 and 3 were filmed simultaneously, and you can tell they spent more money on 2 than 3.
Part 4 was a waste. There is nothing like added to the franchise with that.
Oh yeah, that was is that the
Clips. It's a clips.
clip show?
Yeah.
You know what? The guy that edited that actually left a comment on my review of it.
Oh,
he's
Jesus.
like, hey, thanks for giving me the worst movie award.
Oh, my God. And you're like, you're welcome. Stop making
Yeah.
bad movies.
Pretty
See,
much.
instead of going in to watch Creepshow, you're just watching Clip Show. Yay.
All right, I'm uploading schlock right now.
And
it'll
you
be
know,
uploaded in
he
a few minutes.
defended himself. He was like, "Hey, this was more for people that really just are bigger fans than you are," and so that's fair, I guess.
Didn't you interview like the mom in that movie, Eric? I believe you did, of Sleepaway Camp?
I interviewed Karen Fields from Sleepaway Camp 1,
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
and she is a hottie.
She's aged well, man.
Oh, you should have been standing there in her living room with her.
Just like dumbfounded, like hi. You're pretty, and I am not.
Yeah.
I'm about to stab you with something else, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I didn't go that far.
Too
I was
far. You killed the joke. Way to go.
Yeah,
way to go,
way to
Dan.
go.
Way to go. You fucked
I
it all
slashed
up.
the joke.
I kept it
slashed
all
the
in my
joke.
head. I was just thinking about how pretty
Stop
she
doing
was.
dad jokes. You're not old enough.
She gave me a hug and stuff. She gave me cookies.
Aw.
She's like, here, have cookies on your journey back. She was the sweetest person ever, and she plays the biggest bitch in that movie.
Hey, acting, bro.
Yeah, for real. Anyway. Anyway.
Inflation Road looks pretty good too.
Oh, let me open up this Q&A again. I closed it because we didn't get a question forever. And I don't blame them. We're in like hour 7.
17.
It's a fucking marathon over here.
Bleh.
Is Marcy getting on the ball over there or
No.
what?
Still
No.
waiting.
No.
I told her we're being patient, but you know.
But are we?
Well, I was being patient. I didn't speak for you, so.
But are we? 7 viewers. Woo! Off
I
the
haven't even
chain.
told her you're coming yet, so you know.
Oh, she's probably listening. What's up, Marcy?
Hi.
Shout out. Jagger, what's up, dude? You're all quiet over there. Say something.
I'm sad because Wes Craven died.
Oh, well, I
All
can't
sad for
blame
that,
you.
yeah.
We're all grieving on that one.
Yeah.
We're kind of joking around and stuff, but yeah,
It
we're.
hurts.
We are going from a point of joking, then we're like, oh yeah, Wes Craven died. Shit.
Yeah,
It's
but
like
keep,
not even.
Sorry.
keep coming back to it. It's not real, man. It's not real.
Honestly, it's still unreal to the point where I haven't even accepted it yet.
Yeah.
I wanted more Craven movies. I didn't care if it was going to be more Wishmasters.
I wanted Shocker 2, damn it.
Fucking yeah, anything. I
A
wanted
piece of
more.
my life is gone now. A piece of my life.
See,
Um,
here's the thing. Here's the thing about growing old. You either live long enough to see all your heroes die, or live long enough to see all your heroes become villains. That's it. That's a truth, and it doesn't have to be sad, because dying is not necessarily sad. It's the latter
No,
adventure,
sometimes
man.
it can be a relief. Like, what if your life's really shitty and some guy wants to stab you?
He didn't have brain cancer, so we should look at it positively. He didn't have to suffer for another 10 years,
Sorry.
you know.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So no, I experienced 2 different kinds of deaths today, and one of them I was really more all right with, and then the other one I was not. So yeah, it's weird. It depends on a lot of things, I guess.
What was the other death?
Dr. Wayne Dyer died last night or this morning, and he was a inspirational speaker, author. Wrote a lot of books that I read, and he did a lot of lectures that I really enjoyed and followed. He died recently, but his death was more like an all right, I feel okay about this, like all right, he's gone on to a better place. And then Wes Craven, I'm just like, fuck you, world.
Well, now you know who means a bit more to you. Who's had a bigger impact in your life, you know?
Well, that's kind of how I was with George
Nothing wrong with
Carlin's death. Like, I was sad, but I was like, well, he was old, you know. Time
You
for
know
him
what
to-
was about George Carlin? Like, he didn't get any publicity for his death at all. Nobody noticed, but like
Yeah.
fans.
No.
Yeah.
It was like
It's
one
really
link, and that was it.
It should have been a bigger deal, I would imagine. For somebody that affected society as much as he did, whether they even understand that they've been affected by George Carlin or not.
He was a masterful scribe of words, man. He had a way.
And it's like Daniel, he said he was sort of a teacher, and he kind of brought ideas to the public conscience that maybe would have taken longer to get here if it wasn't for somebody that was willing to push the envelope and say, society's fucked up and here's why.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, what do you like him better? Did you like his goofier days or his dark days, like when it was political?
Dark comedy's the best.
Yeah, dark.
When he was
Or the
preaching
dark
the
group.
truth. When he was essentially a preacher of the truth. And
For real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Seriously.
we all
like-
were
that's
worshiping
kinda
the Church
inspiring
of
to
Carlin
me,
in some way. You know.
Did you guys see him in the movie called Taxi? Or whatever the hell? No, Car Wash.
Car Wash.
Oh, Car
Yeah.
Wash. Let's say
I've seen clips of him in Car Wash. I haven't actually seen Car Wash.
Is
He was
that,
also-
the 90s or early 2000s film, or is it an older film?
Oh, 70s and shit.
Oh, okay. Because
Yeah.
there
He
was
was also
The Wash.
also
I'm thinking
in
of
Bill and
The
Ted's
Wash.
Adventure.
Never mind.
Yeah, he was. He was. He was Rufus in Bill and Ted.
Oh yeah, and he was wasn't he in he was a hitchhiker or whatever in one of the
Jay and Silent
Kevin
Bob.
Smith. Yeah, Jason Bob, right?
Oh, but he was also in Jersey Girl as well.
Oh, was he? Oh yeah, he was, right. He was the father, right? The father of Ben
From what I
Affleck or something?
remember,
I think he was the father of Ben Affleck. It's been a while since I've seen
I
that.
believe he was the father character.
I
Yeah.
actually enjoyed it when I watched it, so...
He was also in a movie which I'm not a fan of, Scary Movie 3. I mean, it was nice seeing him in it, but I don't really like the movie.
The best part, I have to go back real quick, but the best part of Scary Movie 3 is when the deleted scene when I think it's a deleted scene when the Hulk sticks an alien in his ass and breaks his neck with his butt cheeks. Best part from the movie. Anyways, I gotta go right back.
You know what? Scary Movie is some stupid ass bullshit, but I will back it up all the way to 4. 5 was the worst thing I ever seen.
I never saw 5.
Didn't even watch the whole thing. I couldn't take it.
For me, the first one I really liked because it just was a good spoof for the time. The third one's just a little too immature for me.
I could see that. I could I'm not even really defending it. I can't even really defend Scary Movie.
You got Michael Jackson.
But I can say that if I am just looking for some mindless, brainless entertainment, I might watch it. I was late to the game with the first Scary Movie though, because it came out and it was like it was kind of pretty big actually when the first Scary Movie came out.
It came out right when Scream 3 came out.
Yeah, and I didn't even see it till like way after it came out on home video and stuff, and I finally watched it, and I was like, hey, all right, that was funny enough. Part 2, I think, is probably one of the weaker ones, though. Part 2, where they try to do the paranormal spoof, is a little weird. It's got some funny stuff in it, but it's kind of weak.
But you know that thing when a spoof movie, it just tries too hard, and it's just not.
Or doesn't try hard enough, like Scary Movie 5.
Yeah.
Or The Haunted House.
It's almost like, why make fun of Evil Dead? That already kind of makes fun of itself, doesn't it? Kind of.
Fucking,
the second one.
Yeah. I don't know.
Evil Dead 2.
What'd you say, Jagger?
Evil Dead 2.
That's an awesome movie. Love it.
That's all you said?
The fact that she gets raped by a tree, that's just awesome. And comedy right there.
That's in the first one.
And I will never forget seeing that for the first time.
Eric peeing his pants, watching Evil Dead with his girlfriend.
That's exactly how. That's when we stopped the movie. I didn't even see the full Evil Dead for probably a few years even after that. And we were such innocents. We like, put on Evil Dead. I heard all about it.
I remember for
fucking raped by a tree. I was like, turn it off.
I remember for the longest time, like I watched Evil Dead 2, and I would ask, "What's the first one like?" And I watched it. I'm like, "Wait, there's a lot of references to the second one. Oh, this is the original one. The second one's a remake."
Yeah, people will argue with you about that too. So be careful because people will argue. Oh, it's not a remake.
But how could they argue against the fact that he would go to the same cabin with the same girl named Linda, with the book, with the tape recorder? I mean, come on.
Well, I mean, granted, it's the situation that made it complicated because it's like we were talking about earlier how they wanted to show the clips from the original and they couldn't, so they filmed it differently, a little different. So it's just a complicated situation of copyright issue, really, when it comes down to it.
I grew up on comics, so
if you look at it, it's almost like an extended version.
I'm cool with retcons. Just changing things with the next movie and pretending the end of the last movie didn't happen. That happened.
This might sound weird, but as a little kid, Evil Dead 2, I loved it, but it scared the shit out of me. And it's weird because it's like a kind of a comedy.
No, it's
horror. But it did scare me.
I can see how it would be scary. I mean, because it's off the chain, and you feel like, what the fuck could possibly happen next?
Yeah. Like Dead Live's the same way, dude. Like, it's like, what the fuck's gonna happen next? I have no idea.
One of the good
things to this day, man.
One of the good things about the first one is it had excellent jump scares. The first one.
I don't remember.
The first Evil Dead?
I don't know.
I'll tell you what I remember about Evil Dead: a demon screaming at me for an hour and a half.
Didn't Ash have a sister in that movie? Yeah, I think one of the characters was his sister.
Sounds like you know what? We're just making fools of ourselves right now. Because all of the listeners and viewers are like, well, of course it was.
And have you noticed in the original Evil Dead, he doesn't have any one-liners. Ash, no one-liners. Nope.
It was definitely a very drastically different movie from the first to the second one.
Yeah. And I remember watching Army of Darkness and just being relieved. I was like, oh, it's not scary anymore. It's just fun.
Oh, we got a question up in here. Up in here, up in here. Mike
I'll be right back.
Manson, what do you guys think of the original 1980 Maniac?
I really, really liked it. I also immensely liked the remake.
I really, really have been meaning to watch it.
Fair
I've
enough.
never seen it
For
either.
fucking weeks. No, like, seriously, like, 6 weeks straight. Every week I'm like, I'm going to watch Maniac, goddammit, and then I get distracted.
Yeah, then you need to see the remake, because the remake is a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece. It's better than the original. So good.
With Elijah Wood.
Yeah, but
It's so good with Elijah Wood.
The movie is first person, and you only see
Okay.
Elijah Wood in reflections. It's
Oh no! I thought I had an original idea. They already did it.
It's so good, and the score is so
Motherfuckers.
good.
I'm pissed off now. Now I'm just angry. When I was a kid, we only had one Maniac.
I got another interesting thing to say about Evil Dead.
Spill it.
Okay, like the games, there is 2 games. There's Hail to the King and Fistful of Boomstick. They were actually like the events that happened after Army of Darkness. Like in their own ways, they were sequels to Army of Darkness. The games, they actually were.
And those, what was that? Some 90s releases or 2000s?
PlayStation
2000s.
Yeah.
Well, I think Hail to the King was late 90s. Didn't have the best effects, but Fistful of
PlayStation 1
Boomstick
on
is...
that one, I think, right? Or are they both PlayStation
Yeah.
2 games? I don't remember.
Fistful of Boomstick's an Xbox game. It's the original Xbox.
So PlayStation 2 era.
I like the way you qualify that.
No, just because I didn't have an Xbox, but
No, I'm with you. I'm a PS person over here.
I'm not a fanboy. I just get whatever I get, and it's usually the one I think is the best, whatever that happens to be. I was a Sega kid growing up, and
Oh, F your Sega, Nintendo. No, I'm just kidding.
I went to
Did you
PlayStation.
guys-
I ditched Sega for PlayStation.
Did you guys ever play Resident Evil, the games?
Oh hell yeah, I did.
They were fun.
I'm never been a fan of those games to play, but I enjoy watching my friends play them. You know, like it's fun
Before
to
it
be
was
part
even
of a
ever a
crowd with that.
movie,
Yeah.
I used to play that shit.
Those movies are so bad.
They are terribly bad.
I saw
Fucking
all
horrible,
5
dude.
last year, and there's not a single good one.
Pile of shit. Is what
Number
they are.
3 and number 5 are okay as schlocky grindhouse action flicks, but they're just not good. They're not
No.
good movies.
I
They're
mean-
enjoyable.
I enjoy the aesthetic of Mila Jovovich. That's probably as far as my enjoyment of the
She's
movies
a very
go.
beautiful and very awesome person. Yeah.
Without
Yeah.
without her, I probably would have not seen them.
But I don't like the movie. I don't even remember watching the first one and being disappointed. Like, really, this is it?
I saw it in theaters, and I was like, that. I was pissed because when I started following Resident Evil, George Romero was attached to it.
Yeah.
And they went a different way. They didn't like his script. Or like, you didn't. I'm sorry. Did I just hear you didn't like George Romero's script? The man who brought you 3 of the greatest zombie films ever made, and you don't like his zombie script? This movie's gonna be a disaster. I knew it from the beginning. Right there. They're like, oh, we're going a different way. You're going the wrong way, sir. You just went the wrong way. Sorry. You made it.
They fucking went the way they went like the non-risk easy, make it a popcorn action flick instead of actual horror zombie movie.
And I think if that movie was made 10 years later with the current horror zombie boom, it would have been made appropriately now. it would have been a better adaptation.
And there's gonna be at least one more, and then after that they're gonna reboot it.
Say one more, and they're gonna do a more faithful adaptation, I guess.
Do you
know
still
what?
make
I
those
mean-
Obama jokes, Eric? Or Night of the Living Dead?
What?
Do you still make those Obama jokes for Night of the Living Dead, Eric? Like you did in your little
I was
commentary?
thinking about that. I was thinking about that last night. And whenever I watch Night of the Living Dead, I cannot help but make Obama jokes.
It sounds the dude
Racist.
sounds like him.
Are you saying all black people look alike? Is that what you're saying?
Is that whatever is the most offensive thing that will piss people off is what I'm saying.
Oh, that's great.
I mean, hey, I watched George Carlin. What would you expect? I mean,
You cheered at the end when he got shot in the head, is what you're saying.
I think that's the most offensive fucking thing.
Yeah.
Come on, seriously. They just killed him because he's black. Admit it.
That was the point, though. That's the commentary.
I mean, I don't want to go into that that minefield, but
That was the commentary portion of the movie.
I
Scene.
enjoy making myself laugh during a drunken Terry, and if that means pushing a
few buttons.
few buttons, then so be it.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
The thing is, the funny part, like, eventually somebody's gonna get like really upset about something I said, and then like draw way more attention to me than I ever would have got otherwise. So I'm just waiting for that.
did you get bad feedback for your Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Drunken Terry?
Why should he?
No, not really. I haven't.
Wait, did you say something that would offend people?
And I don't this is you guys know I get drunk every time, right? So it's not like I
So
get
what's
total
the-
recall.
so-
on all the
so
details.
Dan, what-
But
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
as far as Nightmare 2 goes, from what I remember, just getting kind of bored is what I remember. Did I say something really bad?
Dan,
I
did you say
didn't
something really bad since you are bringing
Yeah.
it?
No. Okay.
Clueless
What
and
you would say? You would just make gay jokes. It wasn't like necessarily like offensive. Well, I mean,
oh, I can make.
They were just
Oh,
jokes.
God.
I literally recorded that drunken Terry at the house of my gay brother
Oh.
the night before Thanksgiving. We all went to have Thanksgiving over there. I can make gay jokes as long as I want. I got those peeps on my side.
Right.
remember-
Whatever helps you sleep at night, sir. Whatever helps you sleep.
Hey, I can
I
make
remember when
Obama
I was-
and gays all in the same
So
sentence.
now here's the true Craven fan. How many here have seen Music of the Heart?
I don't know.
It's a film he did
That's
after
something.
Scream 2 before Scream 3.
never
Music
seen
of-
it.
It kind of sounds a little bit familiar,
It's pretty
but
bad.
I don't know if I've seen it.
It's not a horror movie. It's like
Mhm.
his one non-horror horror movie. Everything
Ah.
else seems to have like horror elements.
What's the general idea of it?
Oh, all right. Let me pull it up. I don't want to fuck it up. Let's hear Music of the
It's
Heart.
about music, and it has something to do with heart.
Echo City here. Hold on. R.I.P. That's not.
I like how
horror.
you're all bail on this topic as quick as possible.
Yep.
Thanks a lot, bro. That's looking out.
Let's see here. It's apparently about a violinist and her U.S. Navy SEAL husband. Blah 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 blah. What? That's incoherent rambling.
That's a solid plot.
No, that was somewhat incoherent. Okay, a story of a school teacher struggled to teach violin to inner city kids in Harlem.
I'll be right back. I gotta use the restroom. Let's talk about music of the heart.
Stars
So
Meryl
what's-
Streep. Directed
Is
by
it one of those?
Wes Craven.
Is it one of those bad but good movies, or just fucking bad?
It's actually apparently got 6.7 out of 10 on IMDb, so I question the person who said it was bad.
You know, sometimes it flops on me. Like it has a good rating, but I watch it, and I'm like, ugh, this is
Oh, yeah.
terrible, dude.
Yeah, everyone's got a different sense of taste. What's good and bad, you know.
I mean, like Sharknado got like 86% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I don't think it's that good at all.
It's a cult film, that's why.
No, it's not. It's a cult
Yeah.
film for people who think Adam Sandler's funny.
Exactly.
It's not a cult film. It's popular. You know what a cult film is? When
It's
less than a million people know about it, it's a cult film. You know? When
Evil Dead 2 is a true cult film.
it can't be a cult
That's
film
why-
when half of Twitter's talking about it while it's live.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I go on the Sci-Fi Network, it's always on with a new sequel.
Exactly. That's why it's not a cult film. It's a pile of shit that makes money. And they keep making them because they make money because people
Yeah, because it's so ridiculous that people just love it. It's retarded.
I don't like it. It's boring, and I don't like the actors. Fuck those people.
I like production. Some people just go brainless when they watch some movies, but I like Anton.
I might be back.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Just
All right. What did I miss? What are we talking about now?
We were talking about how Music of the Heart stars Meryl Streep and has a 6.7 on IMDb, but is apparently terrible somehow. That's where we were, and then we were kind of stumbling around, and you showed up. You've been caught up to everything, and I started telling you what happened.
How many Oscars did it win?
None.
Oh, okay, that it sucks. Just kidding. Just joking.
So, Eric, you're not a big fan of The Fog, are you? John Carpenter's?
I'm a big fan of The
What?
Fog when I'm allowed to re-edit it so it makes more sense.
Uh-huh. I mean, I like
Wait.
it. I like watching Tom
How about
Atkins
this
and
movie
Jamie
right
Lee
here? This one?
I
Yeah.
see the straight up potential in that movie, but there's so many too many unnecessary storylines going on all at once.
Too many characters.
That confuses me, Eric. I don't understand.
I mentioned this earlier how the way I like or dislike things is confusing to people. Sorry.
The thing about The Fog, though, it's like it has almost the same exact people from the Halloween, and Tom Atkins' name is Nick Castle. It's like
It's like I don't know what else I'll just say the same thing I just said. Like I see how there's a good movie in there, but something's got to be done about too many fucking subplots going
the
on.
way I see it is I like The Fog, I enjoy it, but I do see that it kind of fell short of itself, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense to me, and I think there's a good movie in there for some reason, and it could.
I do like the music score.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. The way the movie opens, I'm all in when it opens up, and then when they just start throwing in too many subplots, I get lost in it. I'm like, what? Like now we're following these two characters, and now it's we're back to this one character. Oh, these other peeps that are in the house. Now we're in the radio station. These guys are driving in a car. Now they're on a fucking boat. It's like, come on, man.
It's just a mess. It's a mess.
I've never seen a remake.
It's a mess.
What
The
is
remake
it
is
about
fucking
the remake?
awful. The Fog remake is a pile of shit.
Agreed. I agree with Brandon. Fuck
It is
that movie.
One of the worst remakes I've ever seen in my life. It's so bad.
The worst remake I've ever seen was the Psycho remake in '98. That is the worst fucking remake.
What you have to understand
I've
with
ever
the
seen.
Psycho remake is Gus Van. That was an incredible act of genius by Gus Van Sant, because he wanted to make a movie that he wanted to make, and Universal said, "Well, how about this? You do this Psycho remake, and we'll let you do that movie," which he did, right? But he said, "Why do you want to remake Psycho? It's a perfect film. There's no point to remake it." And so, like, well, we don't care. We want to remake it. If you want to make your movie, you make this. So he made that movie, and as protest, he made it shot by shot almost on purpose.
I was about to say it's almost exactly like the first one.
Well, it is.
There's a few
shot by shot,
there's a
with
few
the exception of Vince Vaughn beating his meat. I think that's one of the few additions.
If you side by side the like the whole movie, there's a few flourishes here that are Van Sant specifically, but that's it. It's like just a few things, but it's very minimal.
I do plan to do a Psycho franchise review, and I had planned on just leaving that one out. But if there's a little bit of something that needs to be said about it, then I might have to speak up. But it probably wouldn't be a full-on review.
Have you guys seen the sequels to the Psycho movies?
I have not.
I also
Now,
have
it's
not,
weird.
but I've also heard nothing but good things.
Now let me clarify that the Psycho remake, my comment about the Psycho remake is not me as a defense. It's simply that is a finely crafted work of rebellion.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. That's why.
Okay, good.
That's
But
why,
right,
like, right now,
that's what I like it.
up until this point, I was never gonna say a single word about it. But since you said that, and since I understand how the fucking stupid politics of Hollywood sort of work, I might have to actually say a little bit about it at least. Because it is like that. It is really kind of weird like that. It's a lot like high school. And I'm not even really involved in Hollywood, but I'm somebody that follows it from the outside so hardcore. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It can be frustrating as hell, I'm sure.
Garbage truck just went by.
I heard it.
It's like Halloween 2. I don't think John Carpenter wanted a second one. He didn't. I believe he didn't, but he was
didn't wanna
forced
do
to
it.
do it.
Well, he didn't.
And guess what? He had like a
He didn't.
he had a
direct it.
six-pack of beer with
Yeah,
him.
he didn't have the rights.
Well,
I mean, it was
right.
the project was brought to him by somebody else.
Mustafa Akkad, who has
Oh.
been the rights holder since the beginning.
You know, yeah.
It's been Mustafa. Everyone's like, but John Carpenter made it. Like, no, Mustafa Akkad made that movie. He made all those movies.
They just happened to hire the right guy for the first one.
Yeah, it was just,
What was it
Right.
really cool though is like John Carpenter. They're like, let's just kill Michael in this movie, and for the next ones, we'll just make them different stories. I kind of wish that happened. I do.
well, they tried with 3, but
I love 3 so
something.
much.
I do too.
I love part 3. Good movie.
I love it too.
Awesome.
I
We're all
like.
Halloween 3
You know
fans.
what? This is fucking great. Because it was always bad mouth as the black. Fuck part 3, and now people starting to understand, like, and open their minds a little bit. That's cool. I'm glad that everybody here is in agreement. Part 3 is a pretty damn fun movie.
It is. It's an original.
It's all about Tom Atkins, yo.
And
That's right.
What-
And
one of the best things about Halloween 3 is it just has such a good Halloween feel to it of the season.
See, I like to go Halloween 3 and follow it up with Night of the Creeps, because Tom Atkins is a badass.
Sure, yeah, that's a good double bill right
That's
there.
right. Really,
You know, that's his favorite movie, Night of the Creeps.
it's a fucking great movie. That's
Night of the Creeps is like it. Even though it is a cult classic now, even though it's a cult classic, I still don't even feel like it gets enough credit.
It doesn't. Cult classic means there's a small, feverish fan base for it. It doesn't mean it's popular. So
And
it's perfect. It is a cult film by every definition of it, actually. So
that's almost like it's a little bit tragic in the sense that some movies have been so ahead of their time that the people that were around when it was released just didn't get it, and it has to take generations before some people understand.
yeah, it's like
that.
I feel the same way about Fred Decker. The guy did Monster Squad, Night of the Creeps, and then he did RoboCop 3 and didn't do shit since. And it sucks because like RoboCop 3 is not good, but it's not his fault. It's a bad script. You know.
Wait, speaking of RoboCop, I believe the guy in Halloween 3, the villain, Dan O'Reilly, wasn't he in RoboCop?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Sure.
He's a good actor. He is a good
Jones.
actor.
Ryan Jones, is that his name? Was also in that.
A lot of people argue that RoboCop's a ripoff of a Terminator, but
What?
I still like both.
Anyone
people
who
argue
argues that is ignorant.
I love both
I'm not
movies.
afraid to say that if you think that RoboCop's a ripoff of Terminator, you're ignorant. You are ignorant.
I've never heard that ever.
Exactly. And only an ignorant person would think something so retarded.
I've never heard anybody say that it was a ripoff.
I mean,
Find me sources, give me proof.
I
The
love
end.
RoboCop. I love Terminator. I like the second one better than the first, but
Second, what? RoboCop or Terminator?
Terminator.
Yeah. First one's too dated.
Now here's the thing. When I was your guys' age, I'm talking specifically to Dan here because I don't know how old you are, Nemoris, but Dan here, because when I was your age, Dan, I thought Terminator 2 and RoboCop 2 and Predator 2 were the best. As I got older, I came to appreciate the first films of all those much more, actually. Like, I think those films, like, grow on you. You guys will come to appreciate them one day. It's okay.
I think I'm
Well,
with you on this because
I can understand that.
I'm that guy that always well, not always, but mostly will defend an original. Sequels can be good, they can be bad, and some of, like, Terminator 2 is an exception of kind of raised the bar, but still, I dig me some Terminator, the original Terminator. Fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger as a villain. The ultimate villain, that is.
Plus a badass soundtrack. Can't go wrong with that.
But I never. I will say this: I never thought Predator 2 was good. That was a.
What's your favorite Alien movie, guys?
Alien.
Alien?
Aliens is good though. I'm just saying.
Yep.
Alien.
I like the first 3. The only one that I don't like is 4. But if I had to choose a favorite, it would be Alien.
Eric, it's movie time.
It's a movie 30.
It's movie 30, sir.
Oh, you know what? It's not yet, but we'll start to wrap it up. How about that?
Sure.
I actually.
Well, Marcy said she's free. That's why I said it's movie 30. That's why I'm informing you that. Let's see.
I have to take my
Stuff.
my copy off of my hard drive and put it on so I can watch it.
Ah.
I should have been doing that this whole time, and I fucked right off.
Yep.
That's what I do. Welcome to the Death Twitch.
So isn't it true, Eric, like according to your research, Roy Schneider, he had a fist fight with the director of Jaws 2?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's what I.
I heard there was. I don't know if there's a fist fight, but there was at least a verbal altercation.
I heard. Well, yeah. I mean, I heard that there was numerous verbal altercations and at least one actual fist fight that had to be broken up.
Oh, I believe it. I mean, honestly.
I can't blame Roy Schneider. I can't.
Scheider. No way.
Whatever.
No, that was me. The whole
I know.
Jaws.
I was yelling at you the whole time too.
I mean, I can't help it. I'm sorry that I suck at names. I said it wrong the entire time.
You did, and I was just like, oh my god.
I said everybody's name wrong though,
You
but
did.
that's my deal. That's what makes me endearing.
Dude, it's cool.
I can't even get your name right, Brownden.
Yeah, close enough.
I've never found like a good shark movie other than Jaws, and I'm being serious. Like a lot of them I watched, they're not good other than Jaws.
I probably can agree with that actually.
Well, there isn't much shark movies out there. If you think about it.
Shark Night.
Oh god, dude.
I am not defending that movie, by the way.
Nope. By the way, those effects in Shark Night look like ass. By the way.
I've never even actually watched it, but I did work at a movie. I was the projectionist at a movie theater when it was released, and so I remember having to start it and stop it, and they had a rap song at the end that all the crew participated in.
Oh my god.
Keeping it real.
I sent Marcy her link because she's coming here.
Coming here.
She's coming here. I gave her the link to this Hangout so Marcy could join and we could all talk for a few more minutes. Tell you.
Oh! Before we start another thing.
Well, I
That's
don't
cool.
think we're going live. I think we're just watching the movie together, like friendly off-air thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're live right now.
I know.
Let me look here. I swear I had New Nightmare. Right on Street, right there. Freddy vs. Jason. Freddy's dead. God damn it! I got that movie.
I have the 2 Film Essential DVDs that are in storage. I'm just gonna rent it for like $3 and call it a day.
I have it on. I can just pop in the DVD if I need to. I just thought I had a copy on my hard drive.
Nah.
I have all 8 movies on DVD.
Yep.
I really thought I had. I know I got New Nightmare. Where is it? It's hiding from me.
Wes Craven.
Oh, yeah.
Somewhere, under W maybe.
I'm looking through the.
Did I tell you guys?
The
Oh,
title
it's fine.
is Wes Craven. No, yeah, that might be it.
When I bought the Halloween collection, it was in stores. It was like almost $100, and there's a cart by my car, and I took the Resurrection DVD, put that in that cart, and I left with the rest of the movies.
That's funny. Somebody else that didn't know any better was like, "Hey, I got a free movie." And they watched it. And they go, this seriously.
I watched it at all since I bought that collection last year.
It always comes. Everything always comes back to Resurrection. for a movie that nobody likes, we sure talk about it a lot.
You know, they are releasing the producer's cut, though. They
There's
are
a producer's cut of Resurrection.
No. They're releasing the producer's cut of Halloween 6.
I was gonna
Pretty
say.
soon.
I mean, what the fuck is it? More Busta Rhymes or?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go grab my DVD. I thought I had a digital copy. Son of a gun. Oh, nope, that's not it. I got something called Drac 2, Hell in a Hollow.
No, don't. Just don't do it yourself.
Drac 2. How do I have that?
Correct.
Hey, Marcy,
Huh?
what up?
Not a lot.
What it is? Hey, I think we're gonna close this out coming up, but I know I hate to do this to you. I know it's fucking sad, but give us some fucking Wes Craven memories, okay?
He was. I don't. You guys have probably said all that I've already.
We have gushed over him. It's fine. We need to keep gushing. He deserves it.
Fine. Yeah, we want to hear your thoughts.
Well, the only movies that I ever saw were the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I never saw Last House on the Left until I was like in high school. That movie kind of like, I don't know, it was the first ever movie that I ever got like uncomfortable watching, and it kind of scared me into, whenever I would go on dates, it kind of made me think think negatively whenever, and like I kind of want to thank him for putting the fear in men for me but at the same time,
man.
He's just looking out for you.
Well, the interesting thing is the fear in men is a really common theme in Wes Craven's films, actually.
Yes.
So, yeah. I saw Last House when I was in my 20s. I was cool, and it still unnerved me, even though I had seen plenty of much more brutal, but more exploitative films. That one was way more gritty. So sorry.
I believe Last House on the Left is a remake of something from the 60s. I could be wrong.
Virgin Spring.
Yeah, it's a remake. Yep.
Essentially, it's by remake you mean it has a similar story. Yes. It's not like a direct remake, but yeah.
Would you like better, the remake or the Wes Craven Hills Have Eyes?
I never saw the remake, so it's kind of like an an unfair vote, but
Yeah.
I bought the 2-disc DVD of the original. I haven't watched it yet because I bought that after I saw the remakes. I really like both remakes. I like the first one a lot better than the second one, though. But I need to see the original still. So.
Yeah, the Hills Have Eyes remakes is probably deserves more credit than it gets sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people, you hear people say, pretty damn good, but it doesn't, when like remakes are brought up, not a lot of people say, hey, how about the Hills Have Eyes?
no one ever talks about that one.
The thing about the Hills Have Eyes remake is it harkens back to the fear of men thing from like Wes Craven, and the rape sequence in that is just really unnerving too, as probably an homage to Wes Craven. Alexander Aja is just this really underrated director in my opinion, and I think it really shows in that movie.
But just being the guy that I am, I do like the original. Probably will give it more credit just because it came first, way before anything else. But the remake ain't too shabby. And I'm pretty harsh on remakes, so if I say that, then it's got to mean something.
Yeah.
I really like Wes Craven's use of booby traps. The guy liked him some fucking booby traps.
My favorite Wes Craven film is People Under the Stairs. It will always be People Under the Stairs.
I've never seen that movie.
Mine's is Home Alone.
What?
There's booby traps in it.
Oh God. I was talking about Wes Craven films.
People Under the Stairs is like that. It's like that Wes Craven getting the right balance of cheese in with his like social
commentary.
satirical commentary.
Oh God, yes. It's insane.
Although I think did he make the movie Vampire in Brooklyn? With Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
I didn't really like that movie. I didn't like it.
Make that.
Yeah, that's all right.
I forgot that was even a Craven film.
And so is Music of the Heart, which is another one everyone forgets is a Craven film. We were talking about that.
But hey, what about? I mean, I mentioned it once before, and I think Brandon mentioned it. But like, Serpent in the Rainbow, it's got some good fucking stuff going on. There's some good direction in that movie.
There's a tale that someone tells. I think Craven tells it in this interview. And it's been a long time I've seen it, where Bill Pullman is on the set, and him and Wes go hang out with the witch doctor who's been an advisor on the film, so it could be accurate, right? And at some point, Wes goes to bed because it gets really late, but Bill decides to stay and hang out. And I guess the witch doctor drugged him because at like 4 in the morning, Bill Pullman's banging on the door of Wes Craven, like screaming that he's gonna die, that he's like someone's gonna kill him and shit. He lost his fucking mind. I say it's apocryphal because I can't find the fucking source for it. I remember watching the video with the interview, right, but I just can't find the source anymore. So I say apocryphal because I have no source for it. But I think that's a pretty interesting story, if true. So.
Could be true, and the subject matter of the movie was about Haitians voodoo zombies. So
yeah,
that's some shit that really happens, or at least has happened.
Well, I mean, it's based on the fact that we have these drugs that put you in a catatonic state and all this other stuff. It's something easily defeated by modern medicine, but that's why it's in places like Haiti still, because at the time, modern medicine was really just starting to trickle into that country, So, interesting clash between Western and other,
What?
Whatever.
Any other lesser-known Wes Craven movies anybody can bring to mind?
Deadly Friend. Had anybody brought up Deadly Friend?
Christy Swanson did, but Deadly Blessing is the other one that's also not as well known. That did 2 Deadly films.
Did he do any TV work?
Yes, he did. There's a TV movie he did called Invitation to Hell, I believe.
I want to say
Sam Raimi did a movie called Drag Me to Hell.
Is it 90s?
Drag Me to Hell?
No. Invitation.
Oh, I think 94. Yeah. Yeah, 1984. Excuse me, 84.
All I seen in my mind was 90s TV movie as soon as you said the title.
Oh, yeah, sorry. 84, though. 80s.
Did anybody ever see My Soul to Take?
Yeah, I thought it was alright.
I never seen that. No, I never saw it.
I saw the unrated cut on home video, and it's another attempt at Craven to make a new franchise character that doesn't quite make it. He's not as cool as the character from Shocker, so I don't know. What did you think? What did you think, Marcy?
Oh, no. That's one that I kept hearing about. I was just wondering if anybody else has seen it, because that's one that kind of slipped by me. I'm looking at his IMDb right now, and I saw that he did that. It came out back in 2010,
I watched it slip by me, and I just never had any kind of interest in watching it. But he would still put out even as later, like we were talking about Red Eye.
Yeah.
That was something that caught my attention, and I fucking went to the theater to see that.
I
enjoyed it.
Oh, cool. I thought I was the only person who liked Red Eye.
I was one who mentioned Red Eye. What's interesting is Curse. This movie gets shut on. It's a terrible movie, right? But there's actually an entirely different cut. They did the whole movie, and then Craven decided he wanted to go back and rewrite and reshoot everything.
Oh, I heard about that.
I want to see that original version. I really do. Because I wonder if it's better.
There's some interesting ideas in Curse, but the final product is a little...
It's a fucking mess.
Wishy-washy. It is a little weird in the end, but you can see that there was he was trying to do something there. That's a Wes Craven movie for you. Whether it hits or misses, you can see
concepts. Yeah. Like I said, he always swung for the fences, even if he didn't know. He was like Babe Ruth, every time.
For real, dude. I guess let's wrap her up then, man. Nothing but goddamn respect for Wes Craven.
Absolutely.
All the way.
So sad to see him go. God, I can't even. It's still not real to me. Everybody watch a fucking Wes Craven movie tonight.
Rest in peace, man. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. I hope you haunt the dreams of some Hollywood executives that didn't give you the cut you wanted. Make them pay, Wes. And I want to thank all my Patreon supporters that showed up and that continue to support the fucking Death Twitch. That ain't no small deal. The fact that people are broke and yet they can still find a few bucks to give over is pretty damn cool. I want to thank everybody that watched this 17-hour-long marathon of the Hangout.
Each time it got longer. This 20-hour marathon is just too much, man.
It went on for a week. And yeah, just thanks everybody. Anybody got final words? And I'm
Passed
gonna
out
cut
at
it.
2 weeks, but I soldiered on.
Thanks for putting up with us for 2 weeks.
There it is.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, and I'm gonna cut it here. See you guys whenever the fucking next time happens.
Oh, do you want to give everyone plugs?
Nice chatting with you, Eric. Nice chatting with you, man.
Hey, thanks a lot.
Thanks for the nightmares, Wes.
Peace, bro.
Later.